G'day. It's your boy Danny D, aka Alaktrician Man, in the house once again for another Alak-Azul Show. And today I'm joined by the beautiful and intelligent Irene out there. We have a few other people jumping on as well, but they'll be coming in and out. And I know Big Wig said he's going to be here later. And yeah. Crypto Kings was supposed to join us today as well, but he's got some other more important things to do. He's got a new girlfriend, so he's spending time with her, as far as I know. But we're here, and we've got an amazing show today. We're going to be talking about lots of different things, but mainly focused on like financial freedom. Is it really possible to retire through crypto and other investments like that? And yeah, we'll see where we go from there. How you doing, Irene?
It's been a big week. I'm like actually quite frazzled, which is unusual for me. So we'll have to see how we go. But a lot has been happening in crypto this week. So yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same this week. I'm actually at the start of the stream, I'm thinking, is anyone actually going to join me today? Because I'm thinking I'm not really, I don't know. I feel a little bit weird today because of like so many things have happened this week. And yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know why I'm nervous. It must be you. I always feel nervous when I have you on here.
Right.
Let's just
very laid back and non-judgmental. So
yeah, no, I know. I was just trying to put blame on somebody, but it's all good. Driptoken out there, Big Wig expecting you on later on. He's got a couple of things to do. Westside Ian, again, thank you for tuning in. Crypto Unlimited 22, Johnny Fawcett, DeFi Diva, great stream this morning, by the way. And Irene was there as well on the in the chats with me there. Great stream. Robbie, welcome. LCM, welcome again. Good to see you there. Gary, as always, good to see you. And I did send you a link, so if you change your mind and decide you want to jump on the stream, it's there for you as well. And Tony Morrow, thank you again for tuning in. Gary, as always, good to see you. And I did send you a link. Oh, what am I doing? That's coming up on your side, I think, Irene.
What
did you have?
Oh, I was putting a comment on my phone, but I've muted it now. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries. That's all good. I was on Big Wig's stream yesterday, and we ended up having to do it from my channel because he was having some issues. The audio. Every time he spoke, it was okay, but every time anyone else spoke, it was like echoing. It turned out being his Rodecaster Pro that he's using, and so that was a bit funny, but
you can't live without it, but you can't live with it. So
yeah. absolutely. Technical issues are all part of it, I guess. So there you go. Anyone out there, if you got any questions while we're going through the stream today, please don't hesitate to ask away. Just give me a second here. I'm just doing a couple of things on the side here. Now, before we do get started, I want to give a shout out. Like, I get a lot of people shouting me out as well on their streams, so I've got to do it now as well. And it's, I hate missing people, so I did do a little bit of a list this morning, but I know I'm going to miss some people as well. But shout out to the Crypto Collective, obviously, and also Dragon Club, two of the best groups, absolutely best groups in Telegram and in the space. So we've got Dripology, Xander G, Drip and Farms, Speaker Freaker, Lady Mania. I'm expecting you to be on a stream with us sometime really soon. So Crypto Watcher as well. Okay, ladies of the faucet. Crypto Tiger, Crypto Neptune, DeFi Crypto Boss, which I also sent the link to. He's going to try to join us today. Obviously, Bigwig out there, Westside Ian, Drip Millions, and I'm sure there's so many others. JC, Hex Noob, all those guys out there. Man, it's going to be impossible to name everybody. But yeah, I still feel a little bit weird today, and I don't know why. I mean, I'm just, excuse me, but I might have to have a quick customary shot first.
Have like a couple in a row.
I have to. Alak-Azul. So, and I am doing it a little bit different today because I'm actually chasing it with another version of Alak-Azul.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that just a watered down version?
It's coconut juice.
Oh, okay.
Alak-Azul with coconut juice. Beautiful. Absolutely awesome. You can be healthy while you're drinking.
Sure.
Do you drink at all, Irene?
I do, but as you get a bit older, the drink affects you more, and I've got so much going on at the moment, I can't afford to have the downtime. So I'll occasionally have something here and there, but I keep it very, in very moderation. Yeah, I know. I pretty much just stick to this and maybe a beer or two every now and then. But the other day, I just needed to get away from the house because I'm here all the time. I just needed to get away, and a mate of mine messaged me and he said, "Oh, can you help me out?" Because they were doing something on their 4-wheel drive and he needed some help. So I went over and helped him out. And the thing is that when I do that, I know there's always drinks. Right? So going and helping him out ended up me coming home at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then getting up at like 5 or something like that, and drinking something other than Alak-Azul. I really didn't feel too good yesterday morning. So I try to control it. Sunday's my cheat day, put it that way. There you are. So anyone out there in the chats, if you have any questions before we get into these other topics, which we can talk about it anyway. Hang on. Big Beauty said she might join us as well. And a couple of little pointers I have here. I use ChatGPT because I don't normally. I'm not this person that really interviews people. I just let it go wherever it goes. I just give people the platform and let them talk about whatever they want to talk about. But I do have a few pointers here, and just using ChatGPT. So a couple of things that I do want to go into later on. Obviously, just understanding cryptocurrency. There's so many people out there don't, and obviously a very important thing for us. Like, you're into education for crypto, so am I, and it's a matter of giving information out to those to the non-coiners or the no-coiners or the people that are just starting out to understand a little bit more about cryptocurrency and the benefits of it, etc. A little bit about blockchain too, because a lot of people come into cryptocurrency without actually understanding blockchain. And I mean, blockchain, it can just branch out into so many other things as well. You open up a can of worms and you talk about just blockchain. I mean, we do this with our Blocks Media. We talk about the basics of blockchain and try to give like real world examples of related to real world examples so people understand it. Because a lot of times the no coiners or the newbies, when you say blockchain, they're like, oh, what's that? So, I mean, for you, Irene, like with the education side of your business, I mean, if someone asks you about blockchain, like, what's blockchain? What's the simplest way to actually explain it? Yeah, okay. So firstly, we attempt that. And when you've got a child and you're trying to describe stuff to them, it often helps to be able to say it in simplified terms. But people who come to me and say, well, I don't understand blockchain and I don't understand, so I can't get involved in all that, I often just say to them, do you know exactly how your mobile phone works? Do you understand the powers work, how all the tech behind it works? Do you understand how your car works? And often they'll say, no, I don't actually understand how it works. It just works. And I'm like, well, do you use your phone? Yes. Well, you're already in life using a lot of things that you don't understand the intricacies of how they work. It's a little bit safer because they're established. But you can still get hacked and scammed with your phone. Like there's still some inherent dangers. But I often say to them that it's good to have a general understanding of these technical concepts, but it's better to have an understanding of the fact that they will disrupt many industries and they will change the way that you will be able to live your life. And it's good to understand more about the ramifications of it and sort of be aware of that. So with things like blockchain and what is crypto, what is blockchain, even I don't have my head completely around what blockchain is. I've worked around tech my whole life, but I'm not technically inclined. So it takes me a long time to really get into the nuts and bolts. And often I don't even go there because I simply don't feel as though I need that level of knowledge. But I work with other people who do a lot of this educating where they take very complicated concepts and drill them down so that sort of non-pointers can understand. But usually when people ask me what blockchain is, I just explain to them that it's a technology. I try and draw some comparisons to like computer technology and also the internet, because a lot of people don't understand how the internet works and the journey the internet took to come from an emerging tech to being quite entrenched in how we live our everyday lives is how I see blockchain growing and the journey that it will take as well, although I think it'll be a lot faster, obviously. But, you can talk about it being like a decentralized digital ledger and it records transactions across networks of computers. It's secure. We usually talk a lot about the transparency of it and the immutability of it as well, and try and hammer home those aspects, those benefits of it. And then we talk about like what is contained in a block, and that blockchains is a chain of blocks, and so we try not to go too far in, but what we do is we give resources for people who do want to go a little bit further down that rabbit hole of what blockchain is and the benefits and that sort of thing. So and it's the same with crypto as well, like just talking about it as a form of digital or virtual currency, a little bit like we have e-fiat, right? So trying to bridge the gap from, using your credit or debit card. There's not dollar bills flying out of your card through the air into the cash register, right? It's like it's all virtual. So people are already accustomed to the virtual nature of currency. It's just trying to help them understand that it's just a new way of doing virtual currency, but it's programmable money, basically. And it's a little bit more secure, and we talk about the pros and cons of programmable money. But I don't know if that answers.
Absolutely, it does. I mean, we with our education programs as well, we don't actually break it all the way down either, because there's just so much involved. I mean, blockchain is not necessarily just crypto, and a lot of people confuse crypto and blockchain as being one thing, whereas it's not. You're right. Blockchain is like a digital ledger. And I mean, that can be for so many things. I mean, we're actually through Lucky's company as well. We're instrumental in writing laws for regulation, etc. And for blockchain, we're involved in blockchain summits and things like that. So, simple things like, well, I wouldn't even call it simple, but like pushing through the voting system on blockchain. So no more fudged or faked, votes. Votes. So it's all on the blockchain. Things like real estate. Obviously, we're you know, we're heading into that thing where you can get into real estate using cryptocurrency, and everything from your, you know, registry of deeds, your actual titles, everything like that being on the blockchain, you know. Has to be like, for any of that to fail, really, 51% of the whole blockchain has to crash.
Right.
For it to, you know, and that's not likely at all, you know. So it's almost impossible. I mean, you can't say it's totally impossible, but you know, it's very, very unlikely, unlikely. And you know, blockchain already happens.
Yeah, it's more likely that other systems that we rely heavily on are going to fall over, rather than the blockchain. So I think a lot of people are really surprised. Like you said, cryptocurrencies are just one facet of blockchain technology. But I think people are really amazed when you tell them that blockchain is already being used. Like, it's already being used to securely manage and share patient records in healthcare. It's already being used for supply chain management to sort of improve, like when you get a product, being able to trace it back right through to the source of origin. So it's already being used for things like that. There's already banks that are using blockchain to do settlements and cross-border payments and that sort of thing. So, you know, the banks are already using it, even though they are like kicking and screaming about how bad it is. And obviously they're more saying crypto's bad, but I mean, they're producing their own programmable money. So it's a bit, it's a bit funny. But it's blockchain tech is already very much being used, and it will disrupt every single industry that we know of right now, and probably create some more industries. And it's exciting, but it's also daunting. Humans are not good with change as a general rule, and a lot of people are scared about this change, thinking it's the biggest change that's ever happened upon humankind. And we often talk about the Industrial Revolution, and you know, we used to use shells as money, and we try and show people that this is just a cyclical thing where things will change every 50, 100, 200 years, whatever. It's not unprecedented, this sort of change.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at technology, like how we are with social media nowadays, you know, these changes have always been happening. It's just that now we have social media, you know, it's out there and it's getting a lot more exposure. And then people are actually going, oh, now they know that it's actually happening. Whereas before they never thought about it. Let's take for a minute the pandemic, for example, how widespread that was. Now, can you imagine if we didn't have Facebook or Twitter or Telegram or, you know, these other platforms that we use to communicate? That whole pandemic would have been taken in a different way, in my opinion, because it wouldn't have spread so far, like just in people's minds. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, look, these sort of things can be used for good or evil. They can incite panic or they can give reassurance. The more we're able to communicate with one another across borders and that sort of thing, the more influence we have, mass influence, rapid influence you have over people.
Yes.
So being in constant touch with each other is actually a really good thing. A lot of people survived that pandemic because they were able to quickly get support when they were locked in their house and that sort of thing. But it's also something that can be used, you know, I'm entitled to my opinion.
Yes.
No, you're not. You can have your opinion, but you're not entitled to it necessarily. And I think there's this entitlement that you should be able to go and say whatever you want on online and social media and the internet, even if you haven't done your research, or, you know. So it opens up a whole can of worms, being able to have these people who can just mouth off about anything, and it gets believed and passed on and mutated, and it's basically Chinese whispers, but on a mass scale.
Absolutely. I mean, look at us in the crypto space. You know, people say one thing and it just gets so construed and changed by the time it reaches the other end that yeah, it's a major battle all the time trying to give people the right information, you know.
Yeah.
So
Easy. There's no one right way to educate people. I think
absolutely.
people think it's very easy. Oh, just do this. Oh, just do that. It's really, it's very, very complicated, and you can be doing everything correct, and that message will still be skewed by people's perceptions or something that there's just so many factors to consider. So you just keep doing the good work and hope that that message gets to as many people as it needs to get to.
That's right. And yeah, because everybody has their own opinions and perspectives on how things are. And I mean, you know, one of the points today that I want to talk about is like retirement in crypto. Okay. It's no big secret. Everyone knows and everyone says it. They're like, Danny's been retired from crypto because of drip, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not just because of drip, it's because of other things. But my definition of retirement may be very different to other people's, you know. And, you know, there's, when you talk about financial freedom, that's also different. You know, people have got different views and perspectives of that. Some people will think of financial freedom as being, you know, you can buy everything and anything you ever want. Okay. And most people would never reach that point. So that seems like such a pie in the sky thing. And why a lot of people don't actually get even halfway there is because they don't believe that they can get there, because it's so high a mark to try to reach, you know. And
it's all about management, I guess, and we've always been taught to reach for the stars. And I think when you aspire, that is one thing, when you aspire to do something. But when we're helping our community sort of map out their version of retirement, generational wealth, financial freedom, all that sort of stuff, it's a scale, right? So you have your aspirational side of the scale, and then you have this is at a minimum what I need to achieve a comfortable life where I can make choices and I'm not forced to do anything that I don't want to do. And I think that's the crux of freedom and financial freedom doesn't mean you have to be rich. It mostly means that you can be in a position where you have choices, where you have choice over where you work, what you do, whether you work, you know, that sort of thing. So I think people have linked high net wealth to financial freedom, right? And I don't know if that's really the correct way. You need to look at what would I need to have in order to be able to do everything in my life as a choice, not as a requirement, and then backtrack from there and see what that means to you.
Yeah, totally. You know, I've been fortunate, like, through my life. And I'm 52 next week, so I don't know if I'm going to stream next week because it's Sunday's my birthday. We'll see what happens. But, you know, I've been fortunate, never born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Okay. But we also weren't poor. But my mother used to work 3 jobs. My father was an accountant, and, you know, he was always focused on so many things. And, you know, they worked hard to be able to provide for us. Okay. And I try to do the same now. But I've been outside of that after I left home when I was 16. Okay. And then and never went back. I've got a great relationship with my parents, but it was not, you know, I just wanted to go out and do it on my own. So in doing that, I've been fortunate in the way that I've had, you know, lots of really highs in my life, but I've also had the lows, you know, and I always aspired to retire by the age of 30. That was always my thing, you know, and I semi-retired at 29. But when I say semi-retired, it was just, again, it was one of those things because I created enough wealth to not have to worry about things. Okay. But then certain things happen. And also that's a great thing to say, yeah, I want to retire by 30, but you know what? You just don't. You're always doing something. I found if you're that person that's driven to achieve that particular goal, that's what comes from within. So it's not like you bust your gut, you reach this 30 and then you just sit back and be lazy. It doesn't work that way.
It's not linear either. It's very up and down. And I think an issue I see a lot of is people have these like aspirational pin boards of what they want to achieve by what age, I want to have a baby by this, I want to be married by this. And that's great. It's great again, but you don't want to tie yourself to these things because life happens, shit happens. I think the best thing to do is you got to, in life, you have to be adaptable and flexible. You need to like look at your situation, have times where you evaluate how far you've come and always celebrate the things that you have achieved, not always look at, when I used to go home with my assignment, it was like 90%. My dad's like, where's the other 10%? Yeah. He's a lovely man, don't get me wrong, but they just wanted us to have a good education. But a lot of people love it. They don't look back and go, all right, well, I didn't achieve this by this age, but I did achieve all of this other stuff. And you've got to pivot. If you cannot pivot in life, in your investment journey, then you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble if you have one plan and then you stick to it no matter what happens. You're probably going to find yourself in a little bit of trouble. Yeah,
and I can say that from experience too, right? As I mentioned, 29, I did it. At that time, I mean, I could live in the penthouse of the Park Royal in Sydney for 6 months. It was like that, but easy in, easy out as well. We had those times a mate would call and say, hey, where are we going for the weekend? It's like, oh, let's just jump on the plane and let's go to Malta. Let's rent this island or whatever. And it was all well and good, but that disappears too if you don't manage it right. And I didn't manage it right. So I've had that kind of life. And I've also had the life where I'm scraping coins together just to eat for the day. I've been there as well. And so this past couple of years, 2-3 years in the DeFi space, made a lot of money, but I've also managed it better now. Right. Okay. I'm not that young kid anymore. Yeah. Whereas that young kid, it was all like, hey man, I remember I was living in Brisbane. My last New Year's Eve in Brisbane was 2002 going into 2003. All right. And I was staying in a place called the Sedgebrook on Leichhardt. Okay, I had a house as well, but I was staying right in the city, so it's so close to the valley. And that New Year's Eve, the place, my place was just packed, absolutely packed. I had limousines going back and forth to Fortitude Valley, all right, just taking people from my place to the valley, coming back. And I don't know anyone out there in the chats, if you're from Australia and if you know the valley at all, Fortitude Valley, there's an intersection with traffic lights, and on one corner where the mall is, there was a place called Belushi's, and across the other side was a place called Press Club. And back in the day, they used to call me D-Day, D-Day. And if you went to those clubs on New Year's Eve and you said, "Oh, I'm with D-Day," you got in for free on both sides of the street, right? Yeah. Which is crazy for New Year's Eve. And I put a big bar tab, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. But when you stop doing that for people disappear.
Oh yeah, yeah, right? Yeah.
People disappear. Everyone's around as if they're your best mate, and then all of a sudden, when you decide you're not going to do that anymore, everyone just disappears, and it's like you're on your own. So, been down that road, done those crazy things. There's no way I do it anymore. No way. Even if let's say the bull run hit suddenly tomorrow and we did 1,000x and everyone had all of this money, right? I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
What's important to me now is hanging out with my family and, Yeah.
You're at a different stage, but what I can tell you is I've seen people sort of our age that have blown all their money as well. Some people will repeat that cycle over and over. And one of the big things that we do as well is we teach a wealth mindset, because gaining wealth is one thing, but then managing it appropriately, and whether you blow it on like hotels and trips and stuff, or whether you just put it into core investments, or you let it sit there and you don't have it earn you passive income, because your money should always be helping you make more money, right? So
absolutely.
of bad management decisions that you can make. People often just think it's the crazy party ones, but there's other ones as well. So we teach a lot about the wealth mindset, because the other thing that we noticed in the last bull run was people were panicking, because the idea of making a lot of money was actually causing a lot of anxiety for them, because they were like, well, I've not had this money before. I don't know what to do. What's going on? How am I going to get it out? What am I going to do with it? And it was really causing them, like, I had a couple people in tears because they had made a lot of money, and they couldn't emotionally handle the fact that they now had a lot of money. So there's a big emotional shift to make from, even if you're not dirt poor, even if you're just sort of like middle income and you make a lot of money. Yeah. For some people, there's quite a lot of anxiety around that, and we teach a lot about having that wealth mindset, being grateful, understanding that you're worthy of it. Is also a big thing. But also it's about teaching people how to exit properly, ROI, take a bit of profit. You know, and I've said a lot many, many times. I'm almost sick of hearing myself say it. Get ready now for the bull run. Have your positions ready. Have it all mapped out. Understand what you're taking profit on, what you're hodling maybe for the rest of time. Have a strategy in place, because once people often don't start thinking about it until that bull run starts coming upon us. And by then it's almost too late. Shit's flying everywhere. It's crazy. You got to make really quick decisions. You don't remember where that token was, but you need to sell it at a profit now. So the bear market is all about accumulating, educating yourself, and getting all your documentation in order, whether it's a spreadsheet or a software platform. Understand where all your assets are and what you're going to be doing with each asset and at what price. Yeah,
absolutely. Totally agree with you. You have to have that, you know, again, I've been through, you know, a good couple of bear markets now, and you know, obviously we all wait for the bull, we all want the bull, but in the meantime, do take profits and then reinvest. You know, definitely have to do that, and yeah, you're right. Work out which plays you're going to hodl, which ones you're going to take profit from. You know, again, I've mentioned it in my other streams. Just with drip alone, I have certain wallets that do certain things, and other ones that do other things, you know. So, and yes, I do have other external, like traditional businesses as well, but I have different plans for those as well. So it's not like I look at everything and go, oh, this is how much I'm making on a daily basis, so I'm going to take a bit from this, and take a bit from all of them. No, it doesn't work that way. Like for me, like I've got traditional businesses where I don't touch that money at all. Yeah. At all. It just builds up and builds up. So, you know, even if my normal daily income, or somewhere I take for my daily expenses, even if I can't make it meet for that particular day, I still won't touch this other thing. You have to be disciplined in that regard, you know, because if you keep touching at that, well, then your plan for that one is now changed, you know. And so, yeah, you have to put in a plan. You have to, accumulate assets and, have multiple revenue streams. And it's like people buying property. Okay. And that's one thing a lot of people talk about. Okay. The way I'm going to build my wealth is I'm going to be buying a lot of real estate. And that's just a general thing. Okay. And that's absolutely fine. Okay. But the smarter thing to do, again, not financial advice, but the smarter thing to do is actually have property that actually generates you an income rather than just owning it. You know, owning it is great. Look, you have all these numbers, but at the end of the day, if you really need money, you're going to have to sell it. Right. And yeah, you can make a profit on it, but it's better off if it's actually working for you. You know, I talk about, I'm looking at this big property. Quite a big chunk of acreage, but I'm going to be putting 10 Airbnbs on that. Not the whole thing. There's a portion of it that I'm doing that. The rest of it is just from my playing and, camping and stuff like that. But having 10 little Airbnbs in this particular area I'm looking at, the daily income from that is just ridiculous, I don't have to worry about like, outgoings for a mortgage or anything like that because it all just pays for itself.
Yeah.
But again, that's just my take. Airbnbs, yes, there's a lot of them, but they're always full. Right? They're always full. So in my opinion, that's another good way to diversify into, spread out your money that way, or your investments in that way. How about you, Irene? Real estate. What's your take on that in regards to like diversifying your investments into real estate?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to diversify into any asset class that you can, as many as you can. I do have rental properties, but I've had them for 20 years. That was the first asset class I went into because it's often the most easily understood. But I mostly always positive gear my investment properties. I know a lot of people who negative gear them so that they can claim tax losses and stuff.
Yes.
I was never about that. I wanted to make sure that my properties were positively geared so they were making me money. If I had to pay tax on that profit, so be it. So I always do encourage people, if they're able to enter the property market, and it is getting harder and harder to do so.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it can be about buying a property as your residence that might have a section that you can partition off and rent. So I did that with my residential property for a while. I partitioned a bit off and rented it out. So there's always like different ways that you can cut that real estate pie so you can get a little bit of it. But it's increasingly becoming something that is harder and harder to diversify into. Often people are like, oh, my first property is going to be like a 3-bedroom in this up and coming. Oh, dude, 1-bedroom studio flat. You go for the cheapest piece of shit you can find. You put elbow grease in, you fix it up, you rent it, you improve it. It doesn't, people often, again, it's this aspirational what an investment property looks like to me rather than getting on the bottom level. So that's always something that I feel like people should invest into if they can. But there's a lot of other things that you can look into, like there's crazy things like art and collectibles, which I am not about, but I know people are. And there's things like precious metals that you can also look to diversify into, not financial advice. And, a few other bits and pieces that you can sort of diversify into.
In that, I mean, precious metals, gold, for example, okay? We've been buying up gold, but not gold as in your gold bars or anything like that. We've actually been looking at jewelry. And just holding like gold jewelry because, I mean, it's jewelry. If someone wants it, you can name a price. Okay, that particular piece, you can name a price. It's not just about whatever the current going rate for gold is, because it's jewelry. If you've got a block of gold, well, then whatever the current going rate for gold is, that's what you got. Whereas if it's jewelry, it's different again, So, definitely try to diversify into gold and things like that. But
people go, I got to buy big bars. No, because imagine if there comes a time where we got to start bartering with gold, right? What are you going to do? You're going to hand over your entire bar of gold, and then they're going to give you chunks of gold. Like you also be buying like slithers, coins. That, they can be melted down, and then they become gold. So look at discrete pieces of gold, maybe a little bit of silver as well. I think there's some people are collecting up other types of precious metals as well. The name wasn't platinum, it was something else like palladium, or I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but there's another one that I was going to sort of look into. But people often make the mistake of going, well, I can't invest in gold because those big gold bars are like really expensive. I'm like, no, or something, right? So that's definitely something that people can diversify into because you can buy as little as you want in one hit. So
The other truly interesting thing is the direction that real estate is going. Fractionalized real estate. Okay. It's already happening, but it's still quite a way before it actually like reaches like its full potential there. But I mean, using cryptocurrency to buy real estate. it's amazing. I mean, even like over here, for example, in the Philippines, we have a lot of people that are trying to, like, foreign investors that are trying to buy property over here. The general law over here is that if you're a foreigner, you can buy the building, but you can't buy the land.
Right.
Okay. All the land and like these condominiums and stuff, the land is actually on what we call leasehold. It's rather than ownership, right? It's not a proper holding. So they build these condominiums, and I think it's 101 years leasehold. So, you know, you've got a place for 101 years. You won't live that long, but still, right? At the end of the day, you don't actually really own it. So but the thing is, there's still a lot of people investing over here in that way. Now, your traditional ways, okay, let's say I'm from Australia, okay? You come over here, you want to buy this condominium, you want to buy this property. So you have to, you know, try to wait for like bank wires and all of this shit, which can take days, and someone else can actually bid in before you. If they got the cash there, they can, you know, they can get it before you. Whereas now with crypto, and if it can, it's about, obviously there's regulations that come into that, okay? Which again, in regards to regulation, that's probably a really good thing, okay? Right. But and the laws that allow for it to happen. But fractionalized real estate, I mean, you can transfer instantly. You can buy, all right? Yep. You've got X amount of coins, X amount of tokens for that particular property, or X amount of NFTs, or whatever you want to call it, right? For that particular property. And let's say it's $1 million property. Instead of buying the whole $1 million worth, you could spend 100,000 and you will get back, you know, that 10%. Big wigs in the house. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
And I'm so full myself, I know.
So yeah, fractionalized real estate is really going to change the game in a huge way.
We're already in something that does fractionalize real estate, and it's something that our community is in as well. And it's just a sort of crypto NFT adaptation of something that people do get together and buy real estate, like in lots of 10 or 20 people, but it is very arduous. So this concept is not a new concept, but it's being made more accessible and easier using NFTs and, you know, other ways of taking that ownership. But I've seen it in action. It works. I have that as part of my holding, and it works really well. And it is in Australia anyway. This is an Australian company that's doing it. It's highly regulated, and it's easy to regulate because it's just a different application of an existing something that's already being done. And so when you write regulation for something it's just mirroring what's already being done, it's a little bit easier. But what I will say is in Australia, when in some states, when you buy your property, it's leasehold as well. So it's 99 years or it's 101. I can't remember what I'm pretty sure it's 99. I actually was living in a house a few years ago that we owned that actually hit that leasehold, and I had to apply for a new lease, and it was just right? Because that property, that land or whatever was like coming on to 100 years old. So it blows your mind, and we were sweating bullets because I'm like, got to apply to the government for them to, you know, release you that land, and you've got your entire house built on it. If they go no, you're stuck. Right? So it was a very process, but obviously we got our lease, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories around what the government might do as leases come up and start denying people lease renewals and stuff like that, which I wouldn't put it past them, obviously, knowing what they've done in the past. But fractionalized real estate, what a great way, especially for the application of NFTs as well, which most people thought were just, you know, BS. Well, own a bit of like art or whatever. But the true application of NFTs is now sort of more coming to the forefront on the value that they can bring for having ownership in records. You know, artists are selling NFTs for their records, and then you own a bit of the record and you get the profit. You know, there's so many wonderful applications for NFTs.
Yeah, totally. We're working with a group over here at the moment. I'm not going to say any names. I've signed an NDA and all of that, so we can't go into names. But there is a particular property or a group that we're working with at the moment where they've got quite a big acreage where they've actually got a resort on it. Okay. Or the resort's being built like with, holiday homes and things like that within there. But they also have like top brand stores inside. I mean, your Gucci's and all of the top brands are in there. But the amazing thing about this whole place, or compound you want to call it, it's fiat free. You have to leave your fiat at the door. You have to use cryptocurrency.
Can I be a
Crypto
citizen?
Lucky's in the house.
So before I got out of my car, I heard you talk about gold and silver, and then I shut it off. Yeah. So and Crypto Tiger's right. I was smiling when I heard gold, silver. Someone's talking about that.
And I know you're into that, and that's
big time.
Big time.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Lucky,
brother.
Like the first rule of investing. You got to have foreign assets.
That's right.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm not gonna turn on my video right now. I
know.
I'm a mess.
Such a mess. My hair is just not done. I have no makeup on. Jesus Christ, guys.
Sorry, bigwig. Sorry.
I want to see your face. Come on.
After the stream,
Okay. Well, my favorite bank robber's on, so that's okay.
Nice.
Welcome, bigwig. And
want me to send you a wig, Crypto Lucky, so you can just chuck that on before you come on. You don't even have to see your hair.
There you go. Thanks, Harry.
Yes, Crypto Lucky.
And I'm going to have another Alak-Azul because the boys have jumped into this as well.
So I just want to give a shout out to the people in the chat here, especially like Jonathan Rosario, Gary, Crypto Tiger, all those guys are always supporting the community. West Side as well. Pretty much the crypto companies they're always supporting everyone, at least from what I've seen. Yes. So shout out to you guys. Seriously. Absolutely. Love seeing the guys come on there, and it's great. Every week we've got people in the chats. It's like woohoo, pumped. Yeah,
all the time.
I actually jumped on Crypto Unlimited 22 show today for a little bit, and it was interesting. I enjoyed the conversation.
Shout out to Crypto. Yeah, shout out to them. I wasn't awake then, so sorry.
So you didn't get your beauty sleep. That's what you're telling us.
I didn't. I'll come on the next one. Promise.
Sure.
Yeah, but talk about crypto silver. What? I mean, silver.
Crypto and gold. Silver. What's this? That's like my two favorite things in one. What is this?
There you go. Yeah. What's your take on it, Bigwig?
On gold and silver?
Yeah, gold and silver.
Oh man, I really think everyone should have at least. Well, everyone can afford gold because what is it, like $1,900 right now?
Yeah.
But you guys, in case you guys are not aware, you can buy like 1/10 of an ounce, which is I forget the price, but a little gram or stuff like that. In my opinion, I think silver is a better investment because it's extremely undervalued. It should not be $24 last time I checked. It should be like $200 to $300 an ounce right now. Yeah. But it's manipulated. So
yes, of course. You hear that all the time. Yeah.
It's funny. Years ago, I'm sorry to cut you off. Years ago, it was a huge you were called a conspiracy theorist if you said, gold is manipulated. Now it's like it's widely talked about. So
That's right. But I do agree, having that little ounce of silver coins, that's what I used to get, right? And gold, just a gram each. You're only doing what, $20, $30 at a time. It's the same thing. And next thing you know, you just got a big stockpile of it, and you use it to for what you wish. The Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about buying their first house with all the silver they had, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's actually the first guy who influenced me to start looking into like real estate investing, just investing, and then just like kind of more like the mindset of an investor versus anything else.
Yeah,
the Rich Dad Poor Dad book,
Yeah.
Bigwig, can you talk about the best ways to make sure that the gold and the silver that you're buying is legit? Like, what do you do to make sure you get legitimate precious metals?
Well, I was like, as if anything else, everyone should research. And when I mean by research, I just don't mean go on Google and say, what's the best gold and silver to buy. I mean, do that too, but like talk to other people that you know personally. Say, hey, have you bought gold and silver? Go to your local gold coin shops and maybe ask them like ways to test it. And sometimes, like if you buy a coin and you ask them to test it, they'll test it for you. I mean, they want you to buy from them, but if you can buy from like something, just for example, like one silver coin online, because that's what I do. I buy from, it's called Money Metals. It's mostly just for US. It's just say buy like 1 ounce, and you take it to a shop and say, hey, can you test this for me? And most of the time they'll do it for you. Some bigger shops have like a gun. They just kind of shoot it, and it kind of just tells you what percentage of whatever metal you're testing for.
Cool. So I think also in Australia there's a number of you've got to look at price comparisons, because there is a number of reputable dealers, but then you might be paying a premium. But funny story, one of our mints, I think it was the Perth mint. Do you remember this, Danny? I think it was last year. They were minting gold coins, and they weren't the right percentage of gold or bars or something, and they got caught. I can't remember if it was deliberate or not, but they had to recall all of those. And I'm like, well, if you can't even get what you're paying for from the mint, like a government, whatever it is, but that is their one job, is to mint precious metals. If they're not getting it right, then you've got to,
it's in our Constitution.
You gotta be careful that.
I don't know about Australia or anything like that, but in the U.S., it's in our Constitution where they have to mint silver coins and gold coins. It's in
ours as well, where it has to be a certain grade. And they were it wasn't by a lot, but they were falling short of it, and everyone was really shocked because that's their one job, right? So you do need to be careful. You can be scammed, just like everywhere else.
Okay, and I'm sorry. Before I forget, 2 things. Also, don't buy ETFs. Don't buy paper, gold, silver. Don't do that. And don't buy anything off a Telegram. Please, God, don't do that. Don't do that.
Or email, or
Oh my God, what's this? A Trump coin? This has got to be real.
I think it's best to try and go in person as well and build up a relationship with your dealer. And I know not financial advice and not anything, but there are places where if you buy little bits, you don't have to KYC either. So that's how.
And one thing I like about it, whoever this goes for anyone that's in the U.S. Money Metals, they actually accept crypto as payment. You can buy your silver, gold with crypto. I think you can. I forget so basically, this is not financial advice or tax advice, but to kind of get around the taxes on your crypto. So they're not allowed to tax you if you're considered a currency. If you buy gold and silver, they can't tax you on it because gold and silver are now considered a currency. So they can't tax you on it. Granted, it's for another investment, but if you want, let's say, buy silver, because I think in the near future, it's going to skyrocket to 3 digits. So if you want to do that, use your crypto to buy gold, silver, I would do that. For people in the U.S. anyway.
There's so many collectibles out there as well. Outside of the digital realm. I'd love to have Chris on here. Chris is actually one of the guys in the team. He's based in Brisbane in Australia. He's a former bank manager, and got him into drip, but he was like the most skeptical guy, obviously coming from the banks. Okay. But now he's like one of the best guys in the whole thing. But
gotcha.
But and he is of Filipino heritage. So anyone out there that knows the Filipinos, and me excluded, right?
Right.
The infatuation with shoes, right? I don't know if you have looked back on our old streams way back. Chris used to come on, and he'd be in his little office there, and his walls would just be covered with like Air Jordans. I mean, like heaps of them.
Oh my God!
Right, but the thing is, there's money in it. There's real money.
In it. Yes, there is. That's why I'm laughing, because there's a kid. Go ahead.
Like if there was some sort of apocalypse, right? You're
Yeah.
running around with a bunch of sneakers, art, and other shit, right? I'm running around with gold, silver. Who's getting the food and the medical supplies they need? Your sneakers or my gold, right? So it's I'm not a doomsday prepper or anything, but I often think about, if there's an EMP attack or if there's some sort of very serious, something really shit hits the fan. Yeah. Am I running around with my art or am I running around with my gold coins? Hey,
Danny, can you share one of my? I'm sorry to cut you off. Can you share one of my screens so I can show the guys the website?
Go to share your screen, and when it pops up here, then I'll add it.
Oh, that's all right. That's what I can do. Yep. I thought you had to do it.
No. When I see it there, then I'll pop it up.
Don't worry, you're not going to see any naughty stuff on here.
Your Pornhub subscription.
My wife's upstairs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
You ready to? There you go.
So this is the site here. You can actually do like IRAs, and basically what this company too is you can buy a bunch of gold, and you can leverage your gold through like a loan for like a business loan or any kind of loan. They can actually hold, if you don't want to hold your gold at your house, they have a vault, a very safe vault you can hold it on.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
So yeah, it's called moneymetals.com. There's other good sites, but this is the best site.
There you go, guys. Look into that one if you want to.
Yeah. Like I said, look, they got like little ones here. I don't know if you can see that. They got the little bars. Me personally, I do the coins because they store better.
Yeah.
So
same.
Yeah.
So the Eagles and the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I buy whatever's cheap at the time because I'm just trying to stack as much silver as I can.
That's right. That's right.
The apocalypse is coming. Arena's right. So.
That's right. Speaking of which, is it true? There's like an EMP or a solar storm coming. It's supposed to be coming today.
I thought one that came already.
Yeah, they come quite often and they never really come to fruition. But I'm more thinking about EMP as an attack vector.
Yeah.
So that would be like really devastating for all electronics, and it's not something that hasn't happened before and isn't possible. So, but yeah, whenever I'm diversifying into stuff, I'm always thinking, my God, we probably need some baseball bats and some silver and gold.
Yeah, it comes down to being prepared, right? That's all it is.
I know years ago, before 2020, I used to think doomsday preppers were crazy. Now I'm like, I think they got it right.
Oh, I love that show too. I used to watch this one show, Doomsday Preppers. Yeah, it was a show, and there was one episode about this one lady who was preparing her whole family for what? One big pandemic. So everybody was looking at her like, oh, man, that's not going to happen. But then she got all the hazmat suits and the mask and all the cleaner, all the tarps and everything. And then when it actually happened, it's like, whoa, these people, they're actually smarter than we think.
Dude, I'm building I'm building a freaking bunker, man.
Yeah,
I am literally. I'm building a bunker, man.
Yeah.
And on the property, like sniper towers on every corner. And
okay, I was gonna say, where was he going with this? I saw that look in your eye.
Seriously though, I'm looking at that. Right, that's another thing. You just never ever know, man. You never ever know.
Also, you need to look at things like what is going to be the most precious resource in like a few decades' time is things like purified water, like water. So, like, I'm starting to think about, if I get the funds that I want to, that I want to have somewhere where we can get to by helicopter that's on the coast somewhere with like water purification, because water could become the next gold, because there's no use running around with gold coins if you're going to survive dehydration, right?
Well,
so,
absolutely.
These are all things it's good to have in the back of your mind. Some doomsday preppers are crazy, and some are not.
Well, it opens up a lot of questions, right? I mean, I've literally been, and I kid you not, I am building a bunker, right? But all the things that come into mind, okay, all right, so what are you going to do for electricity? Are you going to set up solar farm on the property, okay? Solar or wind or whatever, right?
Water wheel.
What happens in the event of like apocalypse or whatever, and you've got people that are trying to you know, establish something for themselves. Let's say you have all your solar panels outside. How do you protect that from being sabotaged by somebody or being stolen? So you got to have those things in mind as well, right?
Well, I'll tell you one thing I'm going to hoard and use for barterability is this.
Yeah, that's funny.
Toilet paper.
That was hilarious.
Dude,
that's hilarious.
Guys,
for that.
I don't know if you heard what happened over here in the States, but people
we saw it.
toilet paper like crazy.
We saw it.
Australia was really bad too.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, over here in the Philippines is not.
And it's weird. Okay. We're talking about Americans, westernized countries. Usually, toilet paper is a thing. In many other countries, even other like Asian countries,
they don't use it.
They don't use toilet paper. So we're like the rest of the world was looking at us like, what are these guys doing in the States? Because no one really uses toilet paper.
Gary's like, why the fuck is that with you?
Yeah, exactly. Why is it in front of your screen? Wait?
Well, because I blow my nose a lot, and this is like
yeah, of course, yes, yeah.
And I watch my porn down here. Is that what you want to hear? I mean,
I'm kidding.
Oh my sweet Jesus. There's a lady present.
Yeah, I know. You know one of the things that I've been doing for years, and this is something I don't mind sharing, is we talk about insurance. So you have life insurance, right? House insurance, fire insurance, but who has food?
Food insurance.
Or whatever, corned beef or beans. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Danny will have his shots, so he'll be fine. He'll just go down.
Absolutely, never ending. It doesn't run out.
That poor Papa Smurf.
For anyone that's just
You
go. No, I'm just saying, for anyone that's out there that's watching and they're wondering what the hell this is, okay, we mentioned it earlier in the stream. This is my normal Alak-Azul, and this is Alak-Azul mixed with coconut water.
I thought it was Kool-Aid, blue Kool-Aid.
Oh, man. Alak-Azul with coconut water on face in it. It's like, it's the best, right? Lucky we've had this many times, right?
Oh, yeah. I could feel the headache already. No, I'm kidding. There was background music playing. No wonder. I was like, where's that coming from?
No,
who was playing that? Was that you playing that, Danny?
I had some running in the background, but it's stopped now.
Thank God.
Trying to get in the mood.
Yeah. Well, we can do that, right?
No, but I was saying, we don't. No one has really food insurance. It's up to you. So for years, buying that extra can of beans or corn or whatever it is,
dude.
I've tapped into that already. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful that we've done that as a family just to prepare. And it doesn't hurt to buy that extra can or that extra, package of spaghetti noodles or whatever. And because at times when the pandemic started, everybody was rushing to the grocery stores. We didn't move.
Oh yeah.
We didn't move an inch because we didn't have to. We had enough stock of food in our place to live off for how many months at a time.
Yeah, I think it was a good practice, pandemic, because I was like, all right, everyone's going for the toilet paper.
I got cut off.
The next time this happens, I'm going to go opposite, right? So everyone's going for the food and the toilet paper. Well, you let's stack that. No more getting down to the last roll and just buying it the next time.
Oh yeah.
And then we need to move opposite to where everybody else is moving. And now we've kind of got an indication of how most of the population will move if there's a crisis, and we can go the other way.
Yeah, I mean, I have I could probably supply the whole neighborhood with toilet paper right now because I'm not letting that shit happen again. No pun intended. not just toilet paper. Like I have probably 3 months worth of canned food. Kind of what Lucky was saying. I didn't take any more chances. Now, when it comes to meat and stuff, you can't really do much about it. I mean, you can freeze meat, but that only lasts you so long. So,
especially when the electricity's cut, so you want stuff that's gonna last.
And there's also that I bought some the free dry stuff that lasts 20 something years. I wouldn't recommend eating it unless you have to.
Well,
but,
hey, you know, another thing that Lucky and I've been talking about for the past year as well, and we're actually taking steps to go in that direction. Aquaponics. Vertical farming,
yes, absolutely.
Right, vertical farming. I'm actually just trying to buy this property behind me as well at the moment. There's a property behind me where it's landlocked, and they're trying to shaft me on price on it, so I haven't taken it. But if they come up with the right price, I'll take it. It's only a small, like it's only 100 square meters, okay? But on that 100 square meters, I can build 3 floors of vertical farm. So using aquaponics, I can have fish, and then on top of it, growing vegetables.
I've seen those. That's pretty
neat.
Aquaponics,
it's amazing, man. Right?
Lots of it is going on.
So the nutrients from the fish shit feed the plants. And no, I mean, like, hey, yeah,
is that the scientific term?
That's reality, right?
That's the scientific term.
Absolutely, that's as scientific as you're going to get from me today. But you look at that. You don't have to have a big property. You don't have to have, huge farmland to be able to provide for your family. If you have like a small vertical farm, okay, where you've got fish and you've got fish and you've got vegetables and all of it being powered like through solar.
Yeah.
When shit hits the fan, you've got enough to feed your family and then some.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's something that you can do. You can create an investment in that. And while there's no apocalypse or whatever, you can actually sell some of that and generate some income from it, right? Correct. Another big thing that they're doing over here, and something that we're also looking into, is mud crab fattening, right? Where you take a little mud crab, you stick it in a vertical farm, and they come like this big in like a third of the time they would if they were out in the wild.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing, right? And the thing is that the space that it takes up is just, it's nothing. You could have like a 50 square meter place and you go a couple of meters out, a couple of floors up.
Yeah.
And you've now got something that generates income, but more importantly, if shit hits the fan, you can feed your family and et cetera, right? And there are other things that you can diversify into. Aquaponics and aquaculture and things like that. Man, there's real substance in those businesses. And it doesn't take a lot to start.
Man, I don't want to farm.
Hey, but it's about management, right? And the thing is that all the waste, it gets recycled and reused.
I like yield farming.
Yeah, I don't know. Here. I like year farming only, sir.
But hey, no. Let's look at that for a second. All right. We're all invested in crypto. I mean, that's why we're here, right? We're all invested in crypto. We understand crypto. We understand blockchain technology. We understand all this technology to a point. And a lot of our focus is in that because we're going to have a certain element of wealth. What happens if, let's knock on wood, what happens if the whole grid goes down because of something like an apocalypse? You no longer have access. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Big, this is kind of bordering onto your kind of show, right?
Yeah, man. We transitioning back to mine here. What's going on?
Yeah. Tinfoil hat time. Yep.
Right. And again, this is where we talk about diversifying into other things and taking money that we get from crypto and then putting it into traditional businesses, etc. Right?
Lucky, what are you doing? Are you building a shed back there? What the hell are you doing?
Sorry, I know there's a lot of commotion going on. There's a lot of commotion going on around me right now.
It sounds like you're building something.
Sorry. That's why I'm muting myself.
Sorry, Irene, go for it.
Building me a fallout shelter. All this talk about doomsday.
I'm building our bunker. You got me going. Yeah.
He's building his crab farm right now as we speak. I think the most important thing is to know your people. So I think the most successful people in a crisis are the ones that have a community around them. Maybe one person knows about solar, one's an electrician, one's a builder, one's a farmer, one's technically savvy. If you feel like you're lacking in some skills that would be needed for survival, which, most of us are, you need to find like a gang of people that you'll be able to like hang around if shit hits the fan. So I think that's important as well.
Yeah, I mean, just and this is kind of a serious thing. Like, just my recommendation, which I've already know how to do since because I've had family that grew up in the country and they taught me how to fish and hunt and things like that. Even if you live in a city, you can still learn the trade. So not really a trade, but a activity. It's always good to learn in fishing and hunting, things like that. How to gut an animal. I don't know if any of you guys are vegans out there, but hey, if it comes down to life or death, you're going to eat something.
Yeah, you're gonna eat something. Yeah.
You do. You know,
Fido's looking mighty good there right now. Come here, buddy. All right, I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. Don't eat the dog. Don't eat the dog.
Or sell the cat, right? Like you're saying earlier, Big Wig, sell the cat.
Well, I got a cat and a dog, so I the wife likes the dog more, so I sell the cat.
Me too. I got.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Right. Sleep on the couch the rest of my life, or maybe sleep on the couch.
I've just got a couple of messages here, but guys, keep talking. I just got a reply over here. No, this makes it like a really interesting conversation, right? I mean, yes, we always talk about drip, and I love drip, and I love crypto and all of that, but this just takes us to another level. Okay, it's still relative. It's still relative.
Yeah, it is. It's not out of the realm of finance, and all this kind of goes into each other. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I mean, that's why we're getting, you can get ready for. You have to be ready financially, and if you're ready financially, you can be ready for other things. Like you can buy the extra food, you can buy the fallout shelter.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Zach, just a quick call out. Zach, brother, I've sent you a link. Jump on board, man. Jump on the call. This is Zach, member of our team, been around with us for ages.
Oh, is that the crazy guy that was on the first time?
Oh, he's a crazy guy. I remember we were doing the Christmas stream, and he's out there lighting this big fire in the background, and he jumps onto the camera, onto the stream, and he's got all these Christmas lights wrapped around him. But he's a really cool guy, man. Big shout out to you, Zach. Please, man, I sent you a link. Jump on it if you want.
He was in the parking lot bush, but it looked like he was in the woods, but he's like, yeah, I'm in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah. So, again, this is what I love about this show. We just go on to so many different things. Yeah. Let's blame my Alak-Azul for that. But in all seriousness, though, like there's so many ways to diversify and generate like real wealth. I'll mention again, like Chris, the former bank manager and the guy with all the Air Jordans. Something he brought up last year as well. And I never thought about it. He buys expired notes, expired currencies, right? In Australia, Irene, like he's got. You remember the old $1 like the bills?
Yeah, that's my mom.
He's got a heap of those.
Yeah,
those are worth a lot of money.
There's a market for that.
She's emotionally attached. She's not good with change. She's emotionally attached to these currencies that she's seen through her whole lifetime. So she will often buy bunches of notes and coins that are going out of circulation, like some of them mint quality and some of them circulation quality. I gotta find out where they are so that I can nab them when she goes, because she's got like these massive collections, and everyone laughs at her. But now that you've said that, I'm like,
Oh, seriously. Oh, well, obviously Chris has an advantage being a former bank manager with Westpac, right?
Speaking of currencies, I'm actually also invested in foreign currencies. I mean, it's a very speculative investment.
Yeah, it is.
I'm invested in dong, Iraqi dinar, things like that. I mean, I'd recommend researching a lot about the countries and their where they're at economically and stability before you get into it. But that's another thing. Nothing you guys can look at. Like I said, it's speculative at this moment, but it's just something else you guys can look into.
Well, that's the thing, right? Again, this is not financial advice to anybody. This is just presenting some ideas, and whatever people do, they do, right?
Remember, as I say on my show, I am a crazy person. Do not listen to me.
I'm just a drunk.
What's that?
Do not listen to me, but I will stream to you.
Yes, I will stream to you. I'm in your nightmares.
I think where this conversation started at the precious metals, and one of the valuable takeaways from this is you can build your wealth, but in a pinch you need to be able to spend it. So this is also another reason why you diversify, because you want to have a range of options for actually spending it. And I think precious metals gives you that opportunity. If something happens to the like online space and you lose access to your crypto, whether it's momentarily, short, mid, or long term, you've got this other more hardened form of money or currency to be able to use in the meantime. So I think it's really important.
Absolutely.
That's
Actually,
right.
Irene, I just want to ask you on that, if you're up to date with it, because I know you're up to date with things more than me. But does anyone know what's happening with the Pax G situation? Pax G is in like Pax G were the ones that were minting BUSD, right? Pax G, and that's all supported by gold.
I don't know what.
I haven't heard about that in a long time. I don't know.
Yeah, but
because
that's interesting, right?
They're involved in doing BUSD as well. So they were hit because they're a Canadian company. They were also in Canada, and so they shut down a lot of their operations there as well. So
that's probably why we haven't heard anything about it.
So they stopped minting BUSD. They were forced to stop minting BUSD.
Yeah.
There's nothing really in the news post February 13th of February, which is when they said they were going to stop minting BUSD. There's literally nothing since then.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's interesting, right? I haven't been following up on it, but yeah. Sorry, Biggs.
Oh, just kind of go back to what she was saying. Like also, and this is how I'm sure she will agree. You look at gold, silver, whatever. You look at it more of it as an insurance policy more than anything. Yeah, it's an investment, but just look at it as an insurance policy. It's a hard asset.
That's correct. I mean, being in crypto, we're all lucky to be in this space and to earn money. Now it just gives us more options. Of course, for everybody, the more options you have, the better off you are. So, but just buying jewelry.
Shit.
What's going on, brother?
The other drunk from Australia.
Holy shit! I'm gonna take another one just because of you, man.
Surrounded by goddamn foreigners. Oh wait, I'm the foreigner.
But if you were to look at
Crypto Lucky, Danny,
what's going on, brother?
Noli.
Pleasure to have you here, brother. Pleasure to have you here.
My brother from down under.
I was working, so I thought I'd jump on for a little bit, say good day.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's what happened last time. 20 minutes became 2 hours, bro.
Yeah.
You couldn't help it.
Sorry, Lucky, you were saying something, brother?
No, I was saying when during the last bull market, again, just buying little jewelry, because if you look at throughout history, and when depressions came about, I mean, I'm not a total doomsday guy as well, but it's always good to be prepared. So I would be buying my wife little pieces of jewelry of great quality, so 24 karat, right, 18 karat minimum, diamonds and all that stuff, because when things like that happen, if shit were to hit the fan, those hold value. So
absolutely,
and you can enjoy it now. I mean, sure, why not? Makes the wife happy for sure. But it's something where it's like, if anything were to happen, it is something you would turn to. Hey, do you want to pawn this? Do you want to sell it? Do you want to, you never know. You just never know. So it's good to even look at that.
Like I mentioned earlier, bro. I mean, when it comes to jewelry, the difference is with jewelry is that you can sell it for a price that's not necessarily the value of gold, right? If someone wants a particular piece because it looks great, you can name your price. Yeah. And that's why I kind of personally, I tend to lean more towards like the jewelry style rather than just the block or, the slither or whatever of gold, because then you're dependent on what the value of of gold is on the particular day, right?
And that happens for silver as well. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to jewelry, you name your price. If someone wants to buy it, they buy it. If they don't, what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is they'll take it for the value of gold on that day.
Yeah, right? That also goes for like paintings and any kind of collectible. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yeah, like baseball cards.
Right. Yeah,
people spend so much money on baseball cards. It's insane.
Pokemon cards. Hey, what's Pokemon?
I mean, my buddy came over today. My buddy came over today, and he said he was working on this guy's house. He's an electrician, and he said they had like a $1 million house. It's big ass house over here. Anyway, he asked the guy, "Hey, what do you do? For a living?" He goes, "Oh, I just trade basketball cards." He thought he was
Yeah,
bullshitting him, but he showed him how he was doing it, and I'm like, I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
You know, here's another crazy thing. Is another one,
Yeah.
and I know Nelly. Yeah, I mean, you're in construction business and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Bro, tools.
Yeah.
Just tools.
Oh yeah,
right?
tools. Yeah.
Building up a stockpile of tools. If shit hit the fan, do you know how much value those tools will have?
Yeah, man.
I mean, that could be just like spanners and screwdrivers and stuff like that. But can you imagine the value of those things? Dude, I closed down my workshop like 3 years ago, but I still buy tools.
I've got so many tools, man. And the old man, I've got tools that are from the 60s and 70s that dad was a hoarder. I never threw anything away, man. So
yeah,
it's metals, man. Like you get money for metal, you know.
Yeah.
Dad was a coin collector as well. I've got these.
Yeah.
I've got these. You're talking about coins. I've got when we
silver or gold.
Well, yeah, silver,
Nice.
$100 franc, 100 franc, silver coins, pure silver. You know,
you just gained more cool points in my book, my friend.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome. Good for you.
Hey, what was that on the news the other day? I saw who was it? One of the known recording artists. I can't remember his name now, but he bought the Lord of the Rings ring as a very rare card or something for $2.3 million or something.
Wait. A card, not the actual ring.
It was a special. I don't know what it. Well, it was in some kind of a case. I can't remember what it was now, but I saw it come up on the news feed. It's like he paid $2.3 million for it because it was like so rare. For the Lord of the Rings, it was. I think it may have been a card. It may have been a trading card.
I know. Hey, trust me, I believe it because there's people that make a living off doing this.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, Irene.
Post Malone.
Yeah, that's right. Post Malone.
Post Malone. Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
Post Malone.
Like
Yep.
2 million or something for it.
3, I think it was.
Yeah,
wow.
it was like it's some card. I don't know, like crazy.
Hey, CPG,
collecting real estate. Real estate is a little expensive for some people.
Well, real estate's number one. I
can't order a house and be ordered shipped to me. So
Jake Paul wears that Pokemon. Is it a Pokemon card around his neck? The most expensive in the world.
I believe it.
Could be. It's it's crazy. But hey, everything has value, I guess, right?
Well,
one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Well,
I'll answer this. Yeah, Crypto Professor Girl. I was saying like jewelry. When you have like if you look at history with Great Depression and what happened, people were trading in their watches and anything of value.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I was the point. I mean, diamonds is not necessarily the best. You're not going to be wearing it or selling it for show. It has to have some value. So we're talking about silver and gold coins that have are collectibles. Then it's of extra value. However, when shit hits the fan, you're not looking at collectibles. You're looking at actual weight.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if we're talking, worst case scenario apocalypse, and I forgot to mention this, I was showing the site. There's something called junk silver. They sell that as well, and or else you can. Yeah, you can consider also junk silver. Like some people consider junk silver. You go to like a yard sale, and someone's like getting rid of like a silver plate or whatever. You can buy that. I mean, it's rare to find something that's real silver because some people actually know what things are.
Absolutely,
but you can get lucky.
If shit hits the fan,
CPG, I just sent you a link if you want to jump on, girl.
Yeah, come on.
All right, CPG, jump
We'll
on.
have a big
I sent you a link on Telegram. Please do so.
You got to sing that when she comes on.
I love her accent. It reminds me of my wife.
Where's she from? Irene, do you know where's CPG from?
She's like
Eastern
Europe.
Our people online because I wouldn't relay that information either. So I don't know where the accent's from.
Yeah,
but
you're a person with accent,
right?
That's a little racist. You're a person with accent. Where's she from? Racist motherfucker.
I was like off on a bit more of a tangent. I was often like just Crypto Professor Girl's comment like started making me thinking about diamonds and gold and stuff. I often think that I'm going to teach myself how to make antibiotics out of just random shit, like do a MacGyver and be able to make penicillin out of mold and teach myself how to do that, because I reckon that would be like something you could barter. And antibiotics that's what's going to get people is infections and not being able to treat that sort of stuff. So when I get like a moment to scratch my ass, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be on there how to make penicillin.
I was going to say, if
mushrooms.
If those times come, you better know how to build and hunt. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah.
You can have all the gold you want, man.
And you talk about we're talking about gold and diamonds or other things of value, but you go down to the basics where it could go from gold all the way down to honey. If you got honey in you need honey, you need sugar, you need salt, you need alcohol. People need to go. They're going to go crazy if they don't have alcohol. So even if you don't drink, but if you buy those little alcohol bottles that they sell in the airplanes, like if you got that's of value. So that's what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Alak-Azul.
You got any more of that Alak-Azul? I'll give you some eggs. I'll give you some eggs. Just give me some more. Just give me some more.
I thought you were going to say to hoard the alcohol because it's a disinfectant, and then you went on a completely different.
No.
No, why the hell would you waste it that way?
Well, vodka, absolutely. Vodka, yes. Disinfectant, that's what you use it for, right?
Yes.
But so there's multiple uses for it. But I mean, when you are sitting down, or if you got playing cards and that's all you got, people tend to look at how can you become human again, right? So alcohol is definitely one. Cigarettes, yes, absolutely.
Bro, let's look at it this way. In the time of the pandemic, where everyone was locked into their houses, again, it's different everywhere else, but I can tell you over here in the Philippines, you were only allowed to have one person leave the house, and you had to have a permit to do it.
What?
We were locked in for like 2 years, man. Seriously.
Fuck.
Right?
France.
And you couldn't buy alcohol too.
Yeah, but through all the shit, you couldn't buy alcohol unless you had an inroads. I always had an inroads. Right?
Shocker.
But the thing was that even in tough times, people are still drinking. They are still drinking.
It's funny you said that. Over in at least our state, I think they said the alcohol sales increased 325%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever reasons that people had to.
Oh, they didn't shut down at all. Yeah. They didn't.
And CPG, we talked about fractional real estate earlier on, but again, the invitation is out there. I've sent it to your Telegram if you want to jump on the stream.
Fractional real estate. I haven't really thought about ever getting into that.
Fractionalized real estate, bro. Man, that's going to change the world.
Oh, I agree. I've looked into it, but
let's say you have like a big hotel chain, okay, and they're doing it via fractional real estate, for example. So you can't afford to obviously buy the multi-million-dollar hotel, but if you can own a portion of it and generate,
so you're just getting a stake in it.
A stake,
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
So basically, in 2017, we developed a project called REIT. It's REIT, right?
My boy, Lucky.
And ultimately, what it was doing was it was taking, for example, if you were to purchase a commercial floor of one building, one entire floor, you would purchase the whole floor, but it would be used by through crowdfunding, using crypto. And then ultimately, if 1,000 people were to kind of invest, they would each receive a block. So it'd be 1/1000th of a share in that whole floor. Now then you renovate and you start leasing it out. I'm giving you the whole business model right now. It doesn't matter. It's already out there. But so whoever wants to build it, right? But
it was your brainchild, bro.
No, it was, and it still is.
It was, and it is, and I'm going to say that proudly. My business partner, Crypto Lucky, is like he's a freaking genius, man.
So now when so when the lease agreements that you set, all the profits are then shared amongst the 1,000 shareholders. Now those are terms that you don't want to use, of course, shareholders and all that, because the thing that's holding it back is the current regulations. And depending on which jurisdiction you're in, are you able to become a REIT? Now in this country, in the Philippines, it's loosened up a little bit. So you're not able, you could do a lot more than 17 shareholders, if you want to call it. Right. Now you could open it up to 100 people. They are doing it in the United States. There's a couple sites out there, fractionalized real estate. Now you also have to be careful because everybody says the same thing. It's just like bots and whatever. You want to do your research when it comes to that. But there are viable and legitimate projects out there that are offering fractionalized real estate. So for $10, $50, you can get in. Own a little piece.
I mean, I think, and I'm sure everyone here and listening will agree with this. It's obviously the future, and all these countries and entities are going to have to realize, like, we better get on board. We're going to be left behind.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's already happening where you are, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely is. That's why there's a shit ton of banks. That's why there's a shit ton of banks closing, because they're not following with the times.
Yeah, and right now, like Irene, good point. Like, and now they're using NFTs. So when did NFTs start coming out? We were planning this thing out before NFTs actually were official, but now NFTs are in place. However, when it comes to the actual laws regulating it, are they going to accept it? Because there has to be some sort of gatekeeper. There's no DAO that can actually purchase real estate live, right? It has to go through an actual company or a person, right? So now how does that work? And what is acceptable? And what is against security laws and all that stuff? So you get into that whole rabbit hole. And that's the thing that's holding everything back. Our regulations. It's really just regulations.
Yeah, I agree. And they're taking, like you said, they're taking quicker steps recently, which I like to see. Ever since the XRP lawsuit ended, I think
what's
now
that,
you're
Irene?
See
Jack Daniels and Coke.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Shit. Irish. It's an Irish Pepsi.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Nelly. What's that? This should be a beer.
He's probably working.
Water.
Oh, good.
Sure.
All right. I'm what they call a bad influence. Sorry.
You're only one drinking in the morning.
Yeah.
It's mad, but anyway.
Plus, I gotta get back to work soon.
Oh, okay. It's all good, bro. It's all good. But
So
hey,
we'll see you in 2 hours.
Interesting conversation. I just wanted to do this show just as we've gone into some pretty crazy shit, but CPG's in the house. Hang on, CPG.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey.
Welcome.
I was promised to do the dance for you, Crypto Girl.
Oh, thank you, Big Wig. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Where are you from?
Oh, it's a big mystery, guys.
My wife has a very similar accent. I want to say it's Eastern European, maybe Ukrainian.
Yeah, very close. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Ukraine?
Oh, it's close. Not
close
exactly,
to Ukraine.
but very close.
Do you speak Russian?
I'll pass.
Привет, мой друга.
Big Wig, your wife is very perceptive.
No, I picked it up because I lived with this one for 7 years.
Okay. Credit goes to Big Wig.
She sounds a lot like you, so I'm like, I know that accent anywhere.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, I am from the old part of the world.
There you go. That's
Belarus,
awesome.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, CPG, you've just jumped onto the stream. Obviously, we've been talking about financial freedom. We've been talking about, investments into other things, diversifying into other things, not just crypto. Yeah. And hey, give us your take. What are things that you've planned for personally,
right?
Or your thoughts on how can we diversify into other things to ensure that we're stepping towards that road of financial freedom? And what is financial freedom to you?
Yeah, so I think these are all very good questions. So your first question is financial freedom. Well, it was the last question, but I think it's probably the most important question there.
I'll bring to that, Alak-Azul.
I think financial freedom for me is ability to never worry about my future and future of my family and the people that I love. So it's not necessarily like a lot of people are saying that financial freedom is not to have a job, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I think I actually do enjoy my job, and I don't necessarily think about quitting it, but I might evolve in the future. Maybe I'll have a different job. Maybe I'll do something else. But I don't necessarily think of financial freedom as like sitting around and doing nothing, or kind of just like drinking mojitos on the beach. Like, that's not my idea of financial freedom. I think it's ability to be productive. It gives you ability to be productive maybe in some other areas that you haven't thought about. But primarily, I think it's concern about the future and future of yourself, your family, your loved ones. I think that's how I define financial freedom.
I agree.
Here.
Totally.
So, and your second question was that, like, okay, other strategies for investing besides decentralized finance or cryptocurrency. So, I mean, I could certainly talk about like my personal example. So I think leave a comment in the comment section in terms of diversifying in real estate.
Yes.
I think that this is a really good idea, whether or not you are purchasing properties and renting them out, whether or not you are maybe doing fractional real estate. Some people prefer actually fractional real estate because they don't want to have a property where they have to hire a management company, or if they don't want maybe to manage it so they kind of like, oh, it's a big
tenants,
headache. So they do fractional real estate. So you can do actual real estate. You could do fractional real estate. You could do a combination, I think, of real estate and DeFi. And there are some projects right now actually in drip community. Like, I'm participating in BBB, Brick by Brick Crypto, where they have currently 2 sites, one in Argentina and the other one in New York. So shout out to those guys. And they integrated DeFi staking protocol with crypto. So I think this is interesting as well. So that's like, I'm big on that. I still think that it's good to have a portfolio of other securities. So I think that I guess it depends. I mean, there are so many strategies, but I'm not against stock market. I haven't been necessarily a successful stock market investor myself, but I've tried playing with it since 2017. So like, I've done like a little bit of day trading, I've done options trading, I've done vertical spreads, but I wouldn't say that I was like hugely successful. But I think it's also a place for diversification. I think that like whatever is right now related to AI, whatever is related to like the stocks like Nvidia, for example, or Tesla,
Fintech companies
will be valuable 10, 15 years from now. Like, I don't see them going to zero. Some people swear by blue chip stocks. Some people swear by Coca-Cola and Disney. And I also think that Coca-Cola or Disney are not going to go out of business anytime soon.
No.
Except, of course, some apocalypse scenarios that you guys, have been discussing here. So maybe in that case. So I also think that people might want to maybe look at some other products like, for example, life insurance and whole life insurance. There are some really good whole life insurance products out there that like portion of your whole life insurance would be tied to your, it will be tied to stock market, and some of it is fixed, and you can grow like really huge value, and then you can borrow against it. So like, you will be borrowing essentially from yourself, from your own policy, and you don't have to pay any interest on that. So there are really good products out there. I think it's the issue of investigating. And I'm not talking about accidental life insurance. I'm talking about the whole life insurance.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good one to have. Okay, so what else? So so investing now in pre-IPOs, I think that's a good idea too. Like I would try maybe like, and it's risky for some people. Some people feel uncomfortable investing in pre-IPOs. I've only done 2 pre-IPOs, but I'm thinking about doing more in the future. I am using 2 platforms. I'm using Republic, and I'm also using the other one. And Republic, I really love Republic because you can invest as little as $200 in pre-IPO companies. Like you don't have to have 20,000 or 30,000. It's like $200. You can invest in a company that you believe. There's another one, and I'm blanking on it. I think it's called Zen Equity, maybe. That's another one. So I would consider maybe like creating a small portfolio of pre-IPOs. And you guys talked about like art and collectibles. And a lot of people think that if you want to invest in art, like you have to actually like buy, $200,000 painting or whatever, and you don't have to. So there is also fractional art investing. So for example, Masterworks, again, I think it starts with very little. Like you can put maybe $200 or $500, something like that. So there are a lot of things you can do. And I don't know if I mentioned everything that I'm doing. I tried, I think, to mention everything.
That's fine.
I think you did.
Some main things that my family and I are doing. I think some of you talked about gold and silver. I haven't done gold and silver, but I think it's a good one. I haven't done this.
I'm offended.
Silver, but I think that like maybe having like, I would consider maybe having like a gold ETF or something like that. I'm not sure if I would want to like actually buy physical gold and store it in a safe deposit box. Or I think I would be maybe more comfortable buying gold ETF. But like I understand people buying gold and storing in their houses.
Yeah.
But I haven't done like, I think that's the part that I think I need to educate myself more.
Yeah, you're killing me, CPG. You're killing me.
You know what? But bro,
everything you said about gold is like the opposite of what I tell people.
I'm sorry.
You know what? It's great to have the differences of opinions.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Perspectives, and I like this. I really like where we're going with this because, not one thing will work for everybody.
No,
Okay?
even though it's crazy what she's talking about. Yeah, again. I'm kidding.
Like I understand in the case of apocalypses, you will not have access to whole life insurance. You will not have access to crypto. You will not have access to Masterworks. You will not have access to pretty much anything that's like Irene was saying online. And I understand people, I think I conceptually understand the idea of having like cash inside your house and gold inside, like keeping a safe with, full of gold and cash. Like I understand the concept. I just think that maybe I'm too optimistic of a person to kind of like envision. I mean, I just recently bought a big wig, you'll be happy for me. I just recently bought a generator, which is based with the solar panels. So it's a generator.
Oh my God, bringing it! I'm virtually hugging you right now.
Yes. Yeah. So I just bought it like this summer because I was thinking like, okay, what if a natural disaster comes and I don't have a generator and I didn't want to buy it.
What? Hey, generators, I'll tell you what, I bought a generator like 15 years ago, but it's a gas generator. Okay. It uses, it was just one of those things, right? It's an emergency thing. And then we had like a big typhoon, cyclone, if you want, like in Australia.
Hurricane, whatever you want to call it.
Typhoon, hurricane, whatever. That came through here quite a few years ago, and we had no power for 9 days.
That's a long time to go without power, brother.
9 days without power. And so, and the thing is, when it hit, we'd just been grocery shopping the day before, so our freezer was like full of freaking meat.
That sucks.
Right? So luckily we had the generator. Yes, it cost me quite a bit, on a daily basis, but I had a generator. Now I don't know if you guys, I mean, Lucky, you and I were talking about it, but there's like the rechargeable Blue Yeti is one that I have.
Blue Yeti,
yeah, Blue Yeti, and it's got the LiFePo 4 batteries in it and stuff. You can charge it with solar, you can charge it with, etc. But absolutely awesome. Everyone should get one. Yes. Seriously.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gary's asking gas, petrol, or propane. I would just go propane just because it's easier to store and it's less.
Mine was petrol. And it was costing me a freaking shitload.
Right. I mean,
but at the end of the day, it's still. And my kids were only like really young at the time. Okay, so we could have the fan, we could have the aircon, we could have whatever for the 9 days that we had no power, and. Yeah, man, it's definitely something that people need to consider.
Well,
have some kind of a generator.
Yeah, I mean, what she was talking about was the solar power ones, and like those things work really great. You don't need gas or anything like that because let's say the power is out, more than likely the gas station power is going to be out unless they have a generator.
They have a generator.
Which a lot like there was a hurricane came out 3 years ago.
Killer in the house.
And there's some gas stations that didn't have power or a generator, so you had to go to a certain gas station to get gas or whatever. But if you didn't want to do that, a solar power would be great. Oh, Jesus Christ! Yes. How can I have a serious conversation with it? Jesus Christ!
You guys
hey, Zach,
this shit out.
Oh my God.
He's identifying as a wolf right now.
Welcome, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Zach's a prepper, man.
Zach is the wrench that messes up the cog. Oh my
good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
I'm screwing up in front of everyone. That's bad.
I totally lost my train of thought. I have a sudden urge for silver bullets. I don't know.
Yeah. You're just talking about silver. What a great thing to invest in.
Yeah.
See, you're a smart man.
I think you've had a wild ride because I saw your soul leave your body when and I saw it come back into your body when she started talking about solar generators. But I think you're right. Solar's better because when there's a crisis, you and 50 million other people are going to be lining up for petrol, gas. The sun's always there unless,
exactly.
A massive natural disaster. And if we don't have sun, then we're all effed anyway.
Right, so
we've got bigger things to worry about. But I think a solar generator with batteries is your best bet for
solar and wind.
I was going to get there, but someone came on with a freaking wolf mask. So I don't know.
I've got one better. I've got one better for you, and it's some new technology that came out.
Oh my God!
It's actually only available through a couple people, and I happen to know one of them. But they're magnetic generators.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something funny.
Oh, there you go.
Well, they're actually powered by hamsters. No.
That's why we got the animals theme. That's why.
I got a drink to that one.
Me too. I'm not Alak-Azul, but I've got the 99.
You got 99 apples, brother.
My face is
red.
I can't breathe. I got a visual. I got a visual of hamsters powering a generator. Oh my God!
Flashback vodka.
Oh, man.
The good thing is,
but it's awesome, right? We've got all these people in the space that we're all about crypto, but we're also all aware of where we could possibly go to, right?
I can't
where this can go to. So you got to have these plans in place, and as part of the topics that was listed on the banner that I made for the stream was like, do you have a plan? And I think we've pretty much covered that. We definitely all have some kind of a plan in place, whether it be a bunker or sniper towers or, growing fat fucking mud
Zach
crabs
with his trophies and mask.
Well,
no, that's Zach's science fair trophy for his hamster wheel.
It is.
Nah, but I love where we've gone with this so far, and
you sure about that?
Actually, I want to hear from Nelly. Nelly, brother, you're a successful man. You're a drip maxi. Okay, you've got an amazing business. If shit hit the fan tomorrow, what would you be doing, my man?
Depends what kind of shit we're talking about, man. Like
the screen door kind.
Okay, now let's say for example, because this is we're talking Australia. Australia, 35% of bank branches have closed in the past year and a half. Okay, it's very difficult to go and withdraw money. And then I'm not just Australia. I had a message from one of the people in my team the other day in Ireland. Even $1,500, he couldn't go and take it out.
Yeah, right? That's everywhere, dude. That's happening all over the U.S. too. I've been seeing people talking about that.
Yeah. So, for example, let's say something happened overnight and you couldn't take your money out of the bank tomorrow. What are we going to do?
Looks like I got to cash in some silver.
Well, I've got real estate, so I'm hoping they're paying rent.
Yeah, but you know what? You look at it in that regards, bro. Those people can't get access to money either.
Well,
how are they going to pay their rent?
I'm diversified in crypto, real estate, and I've got a company, so I've got staff. So, that's a good question. I mean,
sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, brother. Like,
man,
I did actually, but
I suppose you'd try and barter. Mean, barter. I can use my hands, so
that's correct. That's what I was going to bring up. I mean, Irene brought up a great point earlier.
I'm still fortunate enough to be able to work and barter, trade. I have to do. I mean, I do what I have to do to provide for my family, right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it depends. If I have to sell a property to maintain my family, then I do that. Sell the business. I don't know. Sell my drip or my liquid drip. Put it into DDD.
But you'd have to do that through P2P, right? You'd have to do it using P2P, and unfortunately, like our friends over across the pond in the US, they don't have a P2P option.
Yeah, I'm close to Canada. I'm close to Canada.
Right, they don't have a P2P, and even in Canada, we've got issues there. The P2P is now actually starting to, So, again, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, brother. I'm sorry about that. Right?
No, but if I may answer that,
it's a valid question.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm gonna do the same. Like I'll do the same for Irene, because I know, man, Irene, my hat is off to you at this point. Right. And I totally appreciate you being on this stream, and I'm honored to have you on here. I hold you in very high regard. Very, very, very converse in everything that we're talking about. Now, let me present the same question to you, if that's okay. If shit hit the fan today and we had no access to our normal means, how would you deal with it?
The funny thing is the pandemic gave us a trial run. I was trying to sell my business just before the pandemic. We were about to sign off on a sale. That fell over. I have rental properties, wasn't getting rent for them. That fell over, right? Can't sell your house because no one's buying in a pandemic. So I think it was a good trial run. So for me, it's about stockpiling the essentials, and if possible, having currency that you can use, like gold, silver. At the last pandemic, you could use cash, right? There was still like cash stuffed in a mattress type thing. Having like a big wad of like cash sitting in your house, so if you can't have access to your bank account, you've got some sort of currency that's tradable and able to be used. And then it would be about seeking out other people that you can build your tribe with to get through whatever is coming next. But it's like food. If toilet paper, if you've got no toilet paper, there's other things you can wipe your ass with, people.
Garden hose.
Just go and get a leaf from a tree.
I was gonna say you could just come to my house and borrow some. I don't know.
I've got a fuel powered pressure washer.
You do have a dog and a cat, so I mean,
Yeah, I can
I
wait.
understand that. The
You're
world's
gonna
going
use your
to
cat
shit
to
if
wipe
we
it?
run
Like,
out of
that's weird.
toilet paper.
Why not?
So I don't know about. I didn't get the whole toilet paper thing. I felt as though
No.
None of us did.
emotional response around. As long as I have toilet paper, I can control my situation. I think that was all pegged onto toilet paper, to be fair. But yeah, it's about making sure you're stockpiled in the absolute essentials. Maybe you want to have some toilet paper to use as currency, other sort of currencies. Making sure you have a generator, because living without electricity is just, it can kill you, right? Depending on what country you're in. And then also just looking around and starting to build your tribe, depending on what the disaster is and how long it's going to go for. Scientists, doctors, builders, gardeners, this sort of thing. These are the people that you need to be looking out for. Electricians, rigging up solar panels, a wire, something goes wrong and you need a mechanic, car mechanics, that sort of thing. So that's probably what I would do next, depending on the severity of what's happening. So, and then after that, I can't predict. All I know is if you're a flexible, adaptable person who can pivot, and you are not spoiled, because my grandma always used to say the spoiled people will be the ones that go first in the war, if there's a war, right? And you're okay to be eating rats and all this sort of stuff, then you're the ones that are going to survive. Everyone else is going to die off super, super quick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, just a big quick shout out to Fiat Hater, bro. I sent you a link. Come and join us, man. Just come and do it.
Welcome, brother.
I love this guy. He's been on my streams before. I know we're pushing 2 hours, guys, but we're having a really an amazing conversation, right?
Yeah,
and I love it. It's just so positive and so fired up. I love it.
And
so, but yeah, Irene, thank you for that. I just want people's take. Everyone has a plan. For
not everybody.
What ifs. Everyone should have a plan. Let's put it that way.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot. You'd be shocked how many people have not prepared at all financially and food-wise.
Let's look at it. Let's bring it back to the basics.
Scary.
Let's bring it back to the basics. Let's get back to 9/11. And I know this is a touchy subject for a lot of people. But let's just get back to 9/11. Did anybody ever expect that to happen?
Fuck no.
No. So what I'm saying is that anything can happen.
No. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a major disaster either. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck, right? But then that brings us all the way back around to financial freedom, is that people are being kept in debt slavery for this exact reason. They don't want us to get ahead. They don't want us to have extra savings. They don't want us to have options and choices and stuff like that. So, most of the Australian population is one day away from poverty, right?
Yeah.
So
pretty close like here too.
I have to say this. I mean, I told you earlier about just buying that extra can of canned meat or vegetables in the stores for years already. Have you guys paid attention? Anybody in the U.S., how much is a dozen eggs right now?
Yeah.
How much is that?
All depends on where you live.
Or $4 from my local farmer.
Yeah, I spent like $3.50 for a dozen.
Isn't that nuts? It's fucking eggs, man.
And how much was it a few years ago? Just a few years ago. So it's not a main black swan event that could happen. It's creeping up on you. So inflation is always there. So when and I compare, like, I know people hate spam and stuff, but we love our spam over here. But it's like a can of spam it's almost double the price right now in just a matter of 3 or 4 years. Well, so go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had a thought out loud. Go ahead. I'll mute myself.
Yeah. So it's an ongoing thing. So if you think of pricing, how much are your basic goods and food? I mean, I don't love the pandemic happened. It was horrible. But what I loved seeing at that time was everybody going back to cottage industries, meaning now they're suffering. They're stuck at home. What the heck can I do to earn money and eat? And over here, it's pretty bad in the Philippines, where the government wasn't helping. What were they giving you? A little half a kilo of rice and like a can of sardines. That's what they were giving us,
bro. Straight up,
once every
like
month.
This, okay, I know the people from the local government here, and they just went straight past my house. They go, "Oh, that's Danny. Don't worry about it." let's just go.
No, same.
Right?
It'll be fine.
And then what they did is that, I mean, seriously, within the space of a month, they came past twice to help the other people in the street, and they got like 1 kilo of rice, 1 pack of like crackers or biscuits, right? And 1 tin of sardines, and that was supposed to help that family for a week.
Oh my
or 2
goodness.
weeks.
Yep.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So
And so what I did, I went out and bought like 100 kilos of rice, and I put it into like 5 kilo packs of rice, and I went and gave it to my neighbors.
that makes sense.
Right. What could you do?
That's good because you were able to.
Help you.
Yeah.
You were
I
one
was
in
able to,
like literally tens of thousands to do that.
Yeah, it was like thousands that I had to do. But then when it came to the point that I needed it for my own family, and that's when I got into DeFi, right? And Lucky can attest to this. December 9, 2020, he messaged me and said, bro, we got to get into DeFi. And yeah, I'd been into crypto, but he said, bro, we got to get into DeFi. I'm like, holy fuck, bro. I don't have any money. Yes, I own my house, so I don't have mortgage. I don't have anything like that. I said, my phone's fucked. My laptop is just about like, you can throw it away. But I had to find a way to do it because I knew that we would be moving on to something bigger and better. And, you know, and I've said this on other streams, and Irene, you know, you can understand this. And the men in this stream, you can understand this. I had to tell my wife to go to my in-laws' place so they can eat because I couldn't afford to feed them. Now, can you guys, the guys on the stream, can you imagine what that does to you as a person?
Tears you apart.
It does.
It destroys you from the inside out, and yet you still got to put on a face like, I got you. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Right? And when Lucky messaged me that day and we were in calls, and I said, bro, I'm really fucking struggling. I can't do this. But I scraped together $40, man. 40 US dollars. Okay, $40 US is what I came up with, and I went into it, and I got into DeFi.
That's a very inspirational story.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Seriously,
That's true.
CPG, and that's true. Lucky can tell you this. I had to scrape together $40, right, to make shit happen.
I can't imagine that's easy over there.
It was not easy, bro. We had zero government assistance, especially me, because everyone around here knows me. I'm a foreigner, right? I'm a foreigner. So that cunt's not going to get, excuse my language, but I'm an Aussie. That guy is not going to get, that guy's not going to get any support from us. Although I always support them, that guy's not going to get support from us because he can, look, he's got the big house. He's got everything, right? He doesn't need our support. So they just totally bypass our place. But they didn't realize that I was still hungry. I needed to eat. My family needed to eat. $40, man. December 9, 2020. I took the risk. I invested into crypto. I invested into DeFi, and now.
And that exemplifies DeFi, right? That exemplifies DeFi. This is why DeFi was created.
Yes.
So it was accessible to people with a little bit of money. It doesn't even have to be $40 US, and a mobile phone can get involved. Somebody tell me somewhere in traditional finance where somebody can have a mobile phone and $40 and have a hope of building generational wealth. I'll wait. Like, I won't wait because nobody can
get in TradFi, they can't do it. TradFi, you can't do it.
When people say, oh, can I get rich off crypto? Can I build generational wealth? Can I retire off crypto? I always say to them, crypto doesn't know you shit. DeFi doesn't know you shit. But you have the best chance out of anything I'm aware of in traditional finance to be able to put a little bit in and get a lot out. As A, we're early, very early. B, it's difficult. It's still difficult to get involved, and that makes it something that's able to pay out more because not everyone's doing it. And it can give you the sort of returns. You can't do that in traditional finance. You just can't do it. So
you can't. I'm gonna pull up Zach for a minute. Okay. Zach and I, we've been talking for quite a long time now. Okay. I introduced Zach to Drip. Okay. And Zach, I'm sorry to put this out there,
right.
but Zach was on my Zoom and he had tears in his eyes. All right. And you can expand on this, right? I brought Zach into Drip and I've helped him along the way in regards to just the things that I was doing and how it can change lives. Zach, if you want to expand on that, bro, like
Well, I come from I had 2 kids and I lived out of my car for a while. I know what it's like to not have, honestly, right now, I'm sitting in my child's play set. That's why there's cords running. I'm not in my house. I'm out in the yard. It's pouring rain right now. I'm in a wooden play set that I built. When you talk about what, I've got granite countertops out here in this little kitchen. Like, check this out. See? Like, this is just a play kitchen area. It's called the fish and chip shop, right? It's not a real sink, but I have granite countertops because I know how to recycle things. I figured I'd come out here and sit down, and it's quiet out here, but this isn't without a crazy amount of hard work and skills. What I have for the shit hitting the fan is skills. I'm a tradesman. I've got my own business called Zach of All Trades, but it didn't come without having mentorship and being advised in certain areas. I went into crypto 2019 and I wandered around. I come to meet Danny and, I had been getting rugged. I had been working for people, not getting paid. As you can tell, I have a bit of antics. I like to have fun and make people laugh, but it's you got to have some kind of skill, and you got to get your payment and then do the work. It's proof of work, then get paid. I don't know, but getting into Drip allowed me to buy my house. Yeah, allowed me to get my wife's vehicle paid off. It did a lot of things for me. Now I'm not a Drip maxi, but it's the one thing that sent me on to the next level. And I still work with my Drip. I've got a few accounts. I've handed out Drip accounts. I've handed out hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars because I was given something, and I'm a simple guy. I have lived on very, very little money my whole life, taking care of 2 boys, and now I've been married for 6 years. I've been with my wife for 11. We have a 5-year-old. We got another one coming here October 2nd. But the thing about all this is, before I met my wife, and when I split with the kid's mom, my older boy's mom, all I was taught was to work, pay your bills, and no one gave you any advice. How do you balance a checkbook? We didn't even have classes to do that. How do you get into traditional finance when there's no one to tell you to get into traditional finance? You don't. You just go to work, and I went to college 4 different times and wasted a bunch of time and money. I did end up getting a trades degree of plumbing, but I never used anything with it. I was a landscaper, and I went full-time crypto, I think in the fall of 20. Yeah, I think it was the fall of 20. And no, 21, because that's when it was after I met Danny there. And it was a blessing. How did I know that this was going to work? I didn't. I took a risk. And I took a risk just getting into crypto. I said, you know what? This is my last money of anything. And I'm going in. I got lucky. I did everything you're not supposed to do. But I didn't have any other choice. I went night schooling and sat in my garage and read and got on calls and sat in VCs. And when he's talking about the tears that come to my eyes, is because it changed my life getting in the right thing at the right time. But it is at the right time. But without that, where would I be? I don't know. I'm blessed and I'm thankful for that. So when I got mine, I made sure to give back to as many people as I could, and I still do. But it's about teaching them as well. You don't just give somebody a fishing rod. You need to teach them to fish.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We talk about that. Like, Zach, remember our Christmas stream?
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that was the most amazing thing ever.
That was a lot of fun.
We were literally giving away Drip, like thousands of dollars worth of Drip to random people.
Yep.
They didn't have to be in our team. Nothing like that. We were just giving away. It was just like amazing. Such an amazing feeling, and how that has changed so many people's lives. And the theme of this show today, crypto has changed lives, right?
Definitely.
It has. And you know, we have to pull ourselves away from the traditional mentality and realize that crypto can take you there. It can definitely take you there if you look at the true mentorship and people that are not going to bullshit to you along the way. Okay, people that come back to basics, and people that say it's a hard road. It is truly a hard road, but we're gonna give you a little bit of guidance on how to actually get through it. Not financial advice. Dripology, the NFA show, it's not about financial advice. It's not about any of that, but we're giving you pointers as to where we've been, where we're coming from, and where we're going to. Okay, we may all be wrong. We may be wrong.
The only time we're wrong was about being wrong that one time.
I'm never wrong, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's fair. You know what? Hey, that's no problem.
It's a risk.
You know, I'm going to give a quick shout out to this guy, Doug.
Hey, Dougie.
Who's Doug?
Yeah, Doug and Todd over in the US, North or South Dakota, bro?
Minnesota.
Okay,
Minnesota.
Hey,
Right?
don't you make fun of us, eh? But come over there, fella.
What the fuck? But man, big shout out to these guys, right? Absolutely amazing. Okay, where they've come to, and they came to us, and I didn't pull the punches, man. I told them straight out, right? If you're going to come and join my team, I'm not going to be there just you join my team, so I'm going to give you airdrops. It's not about that. I'm going to give you some education and a bit of knowledge for you to be able to do this yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's where I came in.
I'm not here to hold your hand and say, yeah. And you know that, Zach. You know that, Zach. I told you, even from the beginning, I'm not here to be your fucking cash cow and airdrop to you because you can do this and you can do that. No. Yes, I'm going to airdrop to you, but
don't rely on that.
Don't base your investment on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Do not base your investment on the fact that you're part of my team and I'm going to airdrop to you. That's bullshit, man. Right?
A lot of people do.
I came from Lucky and I came from the MLM industry, okay? Multi-level marketing. And we've had people and we've seen all the shit where, okay, I'm going to buy you your first account or your second account or your third account, and then you can work it from there. That's bullshit, man. If someone's not financially invested in them like themselves, they're going to do shit with it. They're going to do nothing. They're just going to wait there for all the handouts.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you agree? Everyone here in the stream, you'd agree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I like riding the magic carpet, which is known as coattails, you got to work for it. You know? Like
you got to work for it, man. You know, people go, oh, yeah, that is like, you know, you're this and you're that. I want to be where you are. You can't get to where I am unless you're actually doing the shit that I'm doing. And I'm not putting tickets on myself. What I'm saying is the attitude, right? It's the attitude. I'm not going to jump onto your team just because, oh, I want you. You're going to help me to grow. That's bullshit, man. Get off your ass and do it.
I truly believe, I truly believe DeFi, like real DeFi, you get what you put in. And that is with your own time and effort that you put into your research, checking other programs, testing other programs, right? You really get what you put in. You don't rely on, you're not waiting for that. You know, when people think of Bitcoin, buying low, selling high, making money, all these Bitcoin billionaires and whatnot. But with, real DeFi, the way the state that it's in now, I mean, there's so much going on where you can make money everywhere as long as you do your own research, do the right research, get with the right people, right, and find the right mentors, and you're going to be rug pulled, like that's a given, right?
Yeah.
And you control it. I mean, I was excited again. I always say I was excited when I was receiving that $1.58 a day off of one video card that I plugged in to the Ethereum network. And I started off with mining. So I was like, whoa, I got really excited. $1.58 a day. I'm like, dude, if I could do that 10 times, that's, 10, 50 or 15 bucks. I'm like, let's do this. Do it 100 times over. And you just keep building from there. But you control that. Everybody controls that. And no one controls it for you. So that's what I love about DeFi. And programs like Drip. Yes, we are all spoiled if we got it to Drip. We're all spoiled because a high risk, high reward project like Drip, it doesn't come around often. So whoever is in there right now, we're very lucky. So we're spoiled. Because try to name another program like that out there right now.
We are spoiled. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree so much with the spoiling part, and especially now, like when you go to the Max account and then you see like you get $30 or $40, whatever, and you're like, I'm so sad, it's so little. But if you think about that in perspective, like some people have to work a whole day to get $30,
Yeah.
or in some parts of the world, maybe even several weeks to get $30.
Correct.
So,
and if you put it into perspective, $30 that's $900 a month. Like people would love to have an extra $50 a month just to pay an extra bill or whatnot. But you're talking about $30 a day? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's passive. It's passive income. It's what we're all meant to be working towards.
Absolutely, Irene.
Makes us greedy, right? We start with dollar in our eyes, and I think we're lucky because we're in a protocol that has not shafted us, has not rugged us. A lot of people, their first DeFi experience was Drip, and I'm like, you are so lucky. I've been rugged so many times before Drip and a few times after, right? You are lucky that this is your first. Some of us are triggered. We're a little bit bitter, coming in, and these people have come into DeFi and they've been able to attach their wagon to something that may not be where they want it to be price action wise, but it is still going, it is still paying out, and things are still being built for it. This is the thing, is that educate yourself on market cycles for a start, and then educate yourself on what to look for in a bear market, because you're not traditionally meant to strike it rich or make generational wealth during a bear market. You're meant to accumulate to make that in the next bull run, in the bull market.
Yeah, absolutely.
But who's there to tell you that when you first come out of Robinhood? Because you were trying to get, there's nobody like this show. How do you even discover something like the Alak-Azul Show or educated people such as all of you? Like, could I have said I would be here at this point? Absolutely not. I never would have imagined I would have been here.
Well, it's got
by the way it started.
It's got to be the one of the person, because how I found, I was in crypto, but I didn't know anything about DeFi until a coworker told me about it, and I did my own research. You got to, and just because someone told me about it doesn't mean I'm going to go research. It's the one of the person, and the drive of the person.
Well, that's why we're all sitting here.
Yeah, exactly.
We're driven.
Yeah. Let's flip it the other way. Okay, people say, okay, I'm earning $30 a day, through DeFi, and people go, well, that's not very much.
In a bear market.
What about this? Okay, let's say your employer comes to you today and says, I'm going to take $30 a day out of your salary. Now, does that become a big thing?
Yeah, you get 30 punches in the face.
Yeah, it becomes a big thing, right? But if you're thinking about, $30 a day passively, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. Dude, that's
spoiled. Yeah.
It's a lot.
What's 30 times 30?
No. I think it's issue of I think maybe Irene said that it's the issue of greed versus gratitude, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And several of you pointed out that we are kind of maybe spoiled in a way, because especially those of us who've been in Drip since 2021, maybe we are way more spoiled than people who got in later. But I actually wanted to add something to an earlier point that you guys, when you guys were talking about the apocalyptic scenarios, just wanted to kind of backtrack a little bit, where somebody asked a question about how much right now for a dozen of eggs in the US, and then he had this story about the rice, how he bought tons of rice and tried to distribute among his neighbors. And since I came late and I, didn't hear as much about the apocalyptic scenarios that you guys were talking. I do have something to add here, and it's not crypto related, but I think there is really big movement now, even in cities, for people to produce their own food.
Yes.
It doesn't have to, like, you don't, I mean, I'm not arguing for, like, massive farming production, but I think a lot of us can produce, whether or not we have houses and land, or we just live in apartments, we can produce some of our own food.
Yes.
I know that there are some amazing programs in different cities where you can maybe rent land from the city, or there are some communal gardens. So I think it's a really good point to start learning to produce your own food. I've been growing like vegetables and fruits now for years on my land. And I think it's very important to establish relationship with your local farmers. So I've been supporting my local farmers for years now. I'm including if there are some vegetarians or vegans that are watching us, I do apologize. But I've been supporting, for example, meat farmers, like goat farmers, for example. We've been supporting farmers that grow fruit, where I would go and do, you pick in masses, and my family, it's like just tons of fruits and vegetables. So like I would go and literally pick like 8, 10, 20 buckets of fruit and just load them in my crate. But I'm crazy on that. So, but if you have this relationship with your farmers now, and if you keep supporting them, and by the way, it's much, much cheaper, I found, if you don't just go to farmers market, but like establish a relationship with your local farmers, go to the farm, get to know the farmers, and you will find that it's much cheaper. Buy a freezer if you're a meat eater.
It's healthier.
Yes,
as well.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. So if we are, I mean, I hope no apocalyptic scenarios come like that. But if you already established such relationship with your local farmers, it would be very easy to continue those relationships if something, horrible happened. And I think it's good to support you, live in apocalyptic scenarios or not. So that's something I wanted to add to like Danny's story. And I think Crypto Lucky maybe talked about eggs and stuff. And I have a friend who's a farmer, and I if we have any farmers here that are listening to us, I think these are absolutely amazing people. And by the way, I'm not a farmer, and I'm very far from. Okay, great. Zach is a farmer, so
I came from 2 family farms. I'm all about it.
Yeah, it's a very hard. We would die without these people, and I think that
absolutely.
Gratitude. I want to thank everybody who provides food for us. Thank you, guys.
Can I just touch on a point that CP made about apocalyptic and major event? And we're already in one. It's called inflation. It's already killing people, and it's already making massive sort of making hardships for people. So what we're talking about here, you don't just bring it out of your back pocket when the zombies come, right? These are all things that we should be doing now, because we won't be able to afford eggs or bread or whatever the next toilet paper or whatever the next thing is. So these major sort of economic events that are going to affect us, they're already in train. People are already unable to afford food, electricity. People are dying because they can't afford to put their heaters or their air conditioners on. So, these are already things that people could be doing to make their lives easier. And then if we do get one of those sort of doomsday situations, obviously you'll be better prepared for that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying earlier.
This is Wonder Woman out there. Wonder Woman, big shout out to you.
Oh yeah, I didn't see her there.
Beautiful lady.
Hold on, I gotta do it. Hey girl.
What's up? I'm gonna get back to work. I thought I'd pop in, say hello.
Hey, you know what?
20 minutes is up.
I'll be listening.
20 minutes.
All right.
See you, Nelly.
Greatly appreciate it, my man. Later.
Ciao, guys.
Keep it real. Stay Aussie.
Yeah, stay Aussie.
Hey, Ozzy.
No, and that's what I was to continue what I was saying earlier. When the pandemic happened, everybody was stuck, and what I loved seeing at that time is everybody started thinking, and people are now in that not trend, but they're back to cottage industries where people are thinking, what can I do to earn extra money from home? Because now, I think it's hard to hire people because now people want to stay home, which is also a good thing. And it gave birth to our vegetable business. My wife, I was very lucky to. We were in a condo complex, about 6 buildings, about 6,000 people, I would say, in the area. And if you're in a lockdown, you're not able to go out and buy groceries. It's very difficult.
You couldn't do it.
What happened then was these people that had access to food, they were overpricing it, which pissed me off. You would buy your vegetables at 3 times, 5 times the price. So I said, screw that. We had family out here where we are now, up north, where all the vegetables are being grown and being shipped to the main city. So we said, okay, screw that. Let's get our own vegetables. And we started just supplying the the people living in the condo complex with vegetables at a decent price. So we were undercutting all these idiots that were taking advantage of people not being able to leave and not getting that extra income to buy their own food, because food is a necessity. Everybody needs that. So it pisses me off that people would take advantage of things like that. So yes, it gave birth to our vegetable business that we're in right now, right? So now that's great for us, but it also helped those people for those years that everybody was locked down. They were really strict out here in the Philippines. It was like ridiculously strict. Yeah,
it was nuts, man.
So no.
I was considered an essential worker during that time. I worked in a gravel pit, and I just came and went as I pleased, like, or you can get pulled over. I said, I don't give an F. If you want to pull me over because whatever reason, you're not going to tell me what to do. If I have to go to jail because I should be indoors, I'm going to jail. I'm not going to stop my way of life because you think you can control the narrative. I'm going to push back. But I do not agree with the crap that we're given. And that's why I'm here. Like, do I still pay my taxes? Yeah, because the only people I don't mess with are my wife and the IRS.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the IRS, man.
Yeah. But without DeFi, I wouldn't have been able to be at my full potential and be the person I like to be. And because I did something different with my life, I was able to help many others. Like Danny brought up was Doug and Todd. I used to work underneath Doug I'm going to bring this up. Sorry, Doug, if you're watching. We used to work at a Pizza Hut, right? That's what I did in college, and that was many years ago. But we became good friends, and he helped me out every now and then. Like I had 2 kids in college. Yep. I had 2 kids in college, and I had 2 kids by the time I was 19, 20. All right. I'm 38 now. I made some great decisions, but those are my decisions. I make my bed, I lay in it. So I had to do what I could to keep going. But I gave back to those who gave me 1, kindness, respect, 2, and 3, compassion. And it helped out, even just lending an ear to sit and chat, after we get done working or something. And I couldn't think of anything better to do than to help this gentleman out, Doug. He helped me through a real tough time in my life, and I hit him back when I could. I will always pay it back or pay it forward. Now that's all I can do. I love to teach and educate. So when I brought him to Danny, I said, look, this guy is a guy I'm pretty sure Doug knows more about crypto than I do now. He's probably more educated because he is such a driven person, and he's done a lot with it. He's really smart about it. And it's great to see that what I put towards him went to something good, and it's continuing. That's a rewarding thing. And that's happened many times. But I always think, if you give somebody money and they're going to use it, then will they use it correctly? If someone's helped me, I don't really care. That's their choice. But if I see that they just squander it and screw it over, and then they come back, hey, you got more? No, I don't. not this time. You had a chance and you chose wrong. And I advised you to, I can help you and I can educate you so you can get to that next level and get out of that hump or the slump that you're in. And I'm sure we've all been there. You can only help somebody who's willing to help themselves. And that's just about being proactive in life.
Yes, sir.
You have to be. If you're going to just sit around and wait for handouts the whole time, it's like just a bump on a log. It's not worth it.
All right, guys. Yeah, I got to get going. I got to get up in like 5 hours. So
that's what they always say.
So
that's what they always say, man.
What? It's I got to get up in 5 hours. Bro, I work.
You didn't accept my excuse yesterday.
I work with the Amish, so they get up early as shit. I gotta.
No, it's already up. Guys. I mean, look. The reality is, we've been going for like 2 hours and 31 minutes, and again, I absolutely love it, right? But interesting topics tonight, and I think we can probably continue this on another stream. On another
absolutely.
It's gonna be awesome, man.
Wow. I would love to, because now being in DeFi again, we talked about being spoiled and all that, but bring it back down to the basics. Like you and I talk all the time, Danny, about what does it mean to be financially free, and it starts with even like the first bill. Again, I keep excited. I'm excited at $1.58 a day, and when it gets to $2 or even 40 cents. Each penny counts, right? You can't be a millionaire without that extra penny, right? You're gonna have $999,999.99. You're still not a millionaire. You need that extra penny, meaning every single penny counts. Now, how can we make that extra penny each day in a passive way? CPG, she talks about keeping your job. Absolutely, you need that active income in order to feed your residual and ultimately passive income. Now, what does that mean? What does passive income mean to people? This is great information and topics we could discuss, in more detail. Irene, like, geez, the queen of freaking like she's right here too. She could share so much. So I mean, these are topics that are real important. And like you and I wanted to discuss, Danny, choose that bill, right?
Yeah, man.
If you're saying that you could pay your phone bill with Drip, for example, right, $30 a day or whatever. And your bill's only like $50 a month, and if you could say you could pay that one bill, your phone bill, you're now living off crypto, right? Now choose your electricity bill, move up to rent, move up to your car payment.
Absolutely.
Right? It all well, what are your goals? Everybody's different too, so I would like these kind of topics. I love.
Yeah, we got to bring this back up again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, we do. Sorry, Irene, go.
The things that Lucky just said about $1 a day, a lot of people, when they think they've earned that dollar, they feel like that's the end of the lifespan of that dollar.
Yeah.
But I will try and make people aware that dollar can be put somewhere else to earn $5, and then that $5 can be put somewhere else to earn $10. So a lot of people have that mentality that money is. They take that face value of that dollar. They don't understand about making that dollar work for them. So I think that's a big area of education that's lacking, in that money is not just money. Money is a vehicle to earn you other money. I think that's lost a lot.
Yep. All right, guys, I got to get going.
Sure.
I'm like falling asleep. I got to.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, Big Wig, thank you again, brother. Thank you again.
No problem, man. It's always fun coming on here.
I'm super glad that you've sorted out your audio issue.
Yeah,
right?
It was such a simple thing. Like they hit like a couple little buttons, and I'm like, and I didn't see it yesterday. Like I felt like such an asshole.
And let's revisit that stream again. For the guys that don't know, yesterday we were on Big Wig's stream, and he had some technical issues, and then I had to try to do it off my channel instead.
Didn't work,
and it all ended up as like Big Wig was at fault.
All right, well, CPG, anyway. Spacre noche.
You're
all
doing
right,
great.
brother. Thank you.
Star, what'd you say?
Oh, I was saying you're doing great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, my Russian's a little rusty, but
I have some Russian, but it's bad stuff, so I won't even mention.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
Well, spacke noche, das vidania to all you, and see you guys later.
All right,
Okay.
brother. Thank you so
Peace.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers, cheers. See ya.
Bye.
All right. So for anyone out there in the stream, and we've still got actually we had more viewers toward the end than we did in the beginning. Right. So there's still quite a few of you out there.
Because I joined.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Zach,
That's right.
You're the man.
They heard a werewolf.
Magnetic
Oh my
energy.
God. It is a magnetic energy.
But anyone out there in the streams, while we're still here, I'll probably do this for another 10 minutes or so. So if anyone out there in the streams has any questions at all for these awesome people that are on the stream right now, please ask away. Otherwise, we're just going to talk some more shit for the next 10 minutes and then we're going to get going. Right? Now look at Zach with the Alak-Azul hat. Yay!
Damn right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And we've got
really
the
cute.
Nice.
Fuck the
we
rug.
got the fuck the rug, which is absolutely awesome. And I know CPG and Irene, you're going to get involved with us in that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't gotten back to you. You can understand. I'm pretty flat out. I'm pretty
Rug
flat out.
definitely.
everywhere.
Yeah, it'll happen when it happens, but that's going to be an amazing thing when we push that forward. So so much positivity coming out of the community in regards to the FTR movement. I see it. I watch a few other streamers and I see them mention it, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is really cool. I know this is going to take off, and I know this is going to work because the community is in our mind and in our hearts when we talk about FTR, right? That's the reality. It's not about our own personal gain. It's about helping everybody. And yeah. KO King, Lamont Stafford.
Wow.
Yes, I made that logo. Right?
Wow.
Lamont Stafford, actually, KO King. Yeah, look at that. Alak-Azul on the back.
This is so cool.
Yeah, Lamont KO King Stafford. He's got a new. He's going to be getting into bare knuckle boxing, and that's going to be coming in August or September. Actually, now
September.
Zach,
September 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, he's had a couple of opponents pull out, but now he has another one set. So I'm going to try to get Lamont onto the stream sometime in the next couple of weeks, just to help give him a little bit of promotions. And yeah, drip to wealth, man. Welcome into the stream. I'm going to put this out here. Okay.
Hello, Kryptonite.
Cheers.
Hey, Kryptonite in the house. You know what, bro? We're going to be finishing very shortly. Very shortly, we're going to be finishing. But I want to send you a link anyway, so you can come into the studio, because I want to have a chat with you after we end the stream. Okay, so I'm gonna get you on Telegram, bro. If it's the right Telegram for you, I'm not sure. If anyone's got the right Telegram for Drip to Wealth, Crypto Night. Actually, no, you're Crypto Night underneath. So,
Yeah, bring them on, man. While you're doing that, DDD, how does everybody feel about it?
Hey, can someone send me the legit?
I don't know what it is.
Legit link to Telegram for Crypto Night? Please, just send it in TG. And because I just want him on just for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Lucky, do you want to
just for a couple of minutes, just to say good day.
tell me about it?
What? What's that, Zach?
Well, yes. What does everybody think about the DDD? Well, for those
Okay,
in the back
yeah,
and
no,
myself,
that's something
what
we
is
should
it?
talk about. We should talk about that just quickly before we go offline. DDD. Okay, it's actually doing what it was supposed to be doing. Right?
Yep.
In my own personal opinion, it's doing what it was supposed to be doing. A lot of people looked at DDD as a saving grace, and it's just going to make the price like go parabolic. And but
Yeah,
dude,
you
look at the tax rate.
I love it. I love it. My new tickers are the tax vault. How much money's in the tax vault, and
Yeah.
how much liquid drip is out there. Liquid drip, it's decreasing, so it's great. I mean, that's gonna play a big role.
Thanks, Wonder Woman.
Black Salt, of course. Irene, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's doing, like Danny said, it's doing everything it was meant to do. It was never meant to be the be all and end all. It was not built specifically to pump drip price. It was built to lock drip up in the tax vault, in people's faucets, take drip out of circulation. It was meant to bring a gamified element to drip, make it easier to onboard people, make it easier for people to create their own faucets. And you know, it's just one step in many steps of things that are coming for drip. And I think the important thing is it launched successfully. It brought the community together pre-launch and post-launch. It raised sentiment. And when we go into the next bull run, we need to have these gamified elements under our belt, because the next bull run is going to be all about gaming, DeFi gaming on the blockchain. Like gaming is just going to go ballistic in the next bull run. So it's important that we have these gamified elements as part of drip and Animal Farm.
Absolutely.
So that we can ride that wave when we go into the next bull run. So I'm happy with it. I was not expecting a massive amount of price action. I would have been very concerned if the drip price pumped, because that's never really that good for long-term sustainability. So I'm not disappointed at all. I don't think we could foresee some of the, I'm going to call it weird suicide selling that happened, that we didn't forecast or comprehend that sort of.
You know what? Actually, Irene, I actually expected that anyway. I saw the big buys coming in.
Yeah,
I saw the big buys coming in, and they weren't being staked. So I knew, right? I knew that was going to happen, but the guy lost $25,000.
I guess I'm
what the fuck?
going to sell at a loss, even if it is to try and do something untoward, right? But obviously there's other people like that. So I think people tried to dampen the sentiment. There's a lot of other developers of competition platforms who've tried to launch their own raffles, and they have died dismally for whatever reason. And so I think, as in with life and the business, the corporate world and government and all of that, you're going to have like plays like this that are going to try.
Absolutely.
People don't like it when you're successful. So all in all, I'm loving it. I think it's great. I think it's one step in. Like I keep saying, this is not a sprint; it's a marathon, and everyone should be looking forward to mid to late 2024, early 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a sec before we end the stream and before we go and do our thing, I really I'm inviting Crypto Night to come on just for a few seconds. Okay. Yeah, a few minutes even. I can't quite get the messages over here. So I'm just going to say, anyone out there, please send anyone that's on the stream now. And if you've got a direct line to Drip to Wealth, Crypto Night, please send him the link. I want him on the stream, just even for a few minutes.
Okay.
Please. I would love that. Just send him the link that I sent to you.
Yeah, he can hear you.
Come on, Drip to Wealth. Come on, bro. And I know, and we're not going to go for too much longer. I know, Irene, you've been on here like since the start, and I know going on for. Zach, you and I, our stream calls, man, we go for like hours and hours and hours, right? We're just talking about all kinds of stuff. Crypto Lucky and I, God, I can't even count the amount of hours we're on.
That's a record you can't beat.
Absolutely. So I would love to have Crypto Night come on the call just for a few minutes. Okay, and then we'll have him on the call after the stream ends. But I want to take the moment to thank Irene. Oh, Irene, in Australia we say, "Hey, babe."
Hi, babe.
Babe.
You've done great, babe.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you being on the stream, and you know, I'd love to have you. Oh, there you go. There's Crypto Night, but I'd love to have you. And I know you're going to be back on the stream anyway. You're going to be back on the Alak-Azul Show. So I'm going to add Crypto Night, Crypto Wealth.
How you doing, my friend?
Oh, brother! Finally, you're here.
This is so awesome. Here's the crazy part. It's really late at night where I'm at. And
Yeah, I know.
Right, and I'm just relaxing, getting ready for this boxing match. And I was like, you know what? I've got a few minutes. Let me see who's streaming so I can go out there and support people in our community. And sure enough, I saw you guys streaming, and I saw the rock stars on camera. I was like, oh my God, let me support them. This is great, man. And I love the diversity of thought and gender. I mean, this is fabulous. Why? That's why we're one of the best communities in DeFi.
That's right. Nice to have you on, man.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who is that? I just want to make sure I shout your name out, my friend.
Lucky.
Nice to meet you, Lucky. I'm Crypto, my friend.
Nice to meet you.
I've been wanting to freaking touch base and sync up with you for a long time, brother. A long time, and I'm so glad you're on here now. And we'll have to schedule like a proper one where you come and join us, like on from start to finish. I really appreciate what you do for the community. You know, I've been here since freaking day one, and I took a break for a long time. And you know what? Actually, people say, and I see it in the streams. You know, like, oh, you know, this person disappeared, and now they're back because this is doing this. Guys, and Crypto Lucky and Zach can attest to this. I ended up getting COVID.
Oh, okay.
For like over a month, and at the same time I ended up getting uricemia, so which is uric acid in the body, and both of my knees were the size of footballs.
No.
Okay. And I was on crutches for 10 months.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was, man. 10 months.
I could not even imagine.
And that's the reason I went away. That was the reason I went away. So it wasn't because of like.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine now. Yeah. Absolutely fine now.
Alak-Azul was a good medicine.
Yeah, Alak-Azul is the best medicine. But I mean, yeah. I mean, Crypto Lucky and Zach, they can attest to that because they saw me in those times, right? And we were on calls every day, and so it wasn't about me like stepping away because like, you know, the market was going down. It was never about that. I'm always here, but it was about the you know, I had to deal with personal shit.
Totally.
And unfortunately, I couldn't be doing that as well as this at the same time. You know, just sitting there when your knees are like this big, and both of your knees are this big, to try to sit down for any period of time was a freaking nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare, right? But you know what? Drip got me through that.
Right on.
I didn't have to work. It gave me the income I needed to be able to like support myself and support all the medical stuff that I need to go through. And actually, even the last live stream I had with Forex, you know, same thing. I told him, bro, my knees are this freaking big. You know, and he was like, oh, you know, we don't have to do this. And I'm saying, no, we need to do this. We need to do this, you know. Well,
good to see you back, my friend. And your timing is perfect because we need the reinforcement. We really do. It's getting pretty thick out there, and we need people with reasonable, conscious thought to kind of level the ship. And the good news is you've probably been through this before. So it's a personal testimony and story you're sharing with people. And I think that's the context that people need, right? They don't necessarily need, well, maybe some people do. So let me not overstate that. You know, they don't necessarily need all the good news. Just give them the real news. Speak the truth, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's what mature people appreciate, right? And then if you do need a bit of hopium and optimism, you know, there's people out there for that too. But your personal testimony speaks volumes. So I'm glad you're back in the space and healthy.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Right on.
Thank you so much. You know, like I acknowledge the fact that yes, you know, there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, Danny's just bullshit, and I get that. That's fine too, right? But I'm all about realism. I'm all about realism, and you know, being true to the cause. And look, if you follow me, you follow me. If you don't, you don't. I don't give a shit. To be totally honest, I don't give a shit. All I do is share the blessings. Okay, whatever you do with that, that's up to you.
Yeah.
This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do this and do that. I'm not going to put a gun to your head and say, hey, you need to be doing this. No, that's bullshit. What I'm trying to do is provide you some information that you can actually start putting it into your thought processes and go, okay, well, maybe this is for me. Maybe it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
I have messages every single day where people are saying, oh, bro, you should be doing this. You know, I've got this thing. I've got that thing. And that's awesome. I can take it with a grain of salt and I will investigate it if I want to. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But with this show, the Alak-Azul Show, yes, I am Drip. I am a Drip Maxi. But I'm not here telling you, shit, guys, you need to join Drip. It's not about that. I'm neutral. I provide a platform for you to talk about your experiences and why you think Drip should be good for you.
Yes.
It's not about, man, this is all about Drip, you know, blah, blah, blah. And dude, I love Drip.
It changed your life.
An
amazing I see
amazing
why you're
tradition.
It changed your life, right? You were
Absolutely.
able to retire, maybe semi-retire, and actually take care of your health, which is everyone's highest priority. And
Absolutely.
Drip afforded that for you. That's a blessing.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It did. I diversify into other things, which is what we've been talking about in the whole stream tonight. I've diversified into other things, but the main core of that was Drip.
Love it.
Right?
Love it. And I've got this thing where I say sound bar, but I don't have a sound bar. So it's just this massive clapping sound. It's part of my brand. I wish I had it tonight because you guys are spitting the gospel. I love it. This is good.
Thank you. So we've been going for 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Only 2 hours and 52 minutes? Jesus!
Yeah, man. But you know, the thing is, I'm looking at the viewers, and it's been consistent the whole time, which is like beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
I was like, I was nervous coming into the stream because for until the last 4 minutes, and Irene popped up in the studio. I'm like,
hey, Irene,
I'm going to do this on my own. Right? I thought I was going to do it on my own, which again is okay. I've done this many times before, but you know, now to have the engagement that we've had and the people on the stream tonight, it's just beautiful. And my heart goes out to all of you. Again, Irene, thank you so much. Thank you so much, babe. Which is normal in Australia. Hey, babe, thank you so much, babe. And Zach,
CPG, I see her. Okay,
yeah,
I got her.
CPG.
Yeah, I came at the end also.
Right on, that's my girl. And there's one other person.
My boy Lucky. My boy Lucky, Zach, dude.
Okay, Zach.
I was expecting you, Zach, to come in like you're in the shower. Like we it's really crazy, guys. Sometimes I do Zooms with Zach, and he's standing in the shower. He's like, you know, he's doing his thing in the shower while we're on Zoom calls.
Very nice.
But,
well, hey, I'm glad you extended the invitation, and yes, I would love to bounce back and have a great conversation.
Good night, brother. We, you know, you're always welcome. You're always welcome. I love what you're doing for the community. I love the things that you do. I would love to just I'm going to end the stream in like a few minutes. But I would love for you to stay on the stream just again for another few minutes. I just want to touch base with you, and yeah. So there you go. Anyone else in the streams, if you have one last question before we go offline, please ask away now. Pranil, I just want to say, hey, awesome. Thanks for coming back again, brother. Zach, go.
Yes. Can I do a plug for something?
Yes, of course.
All right. It's this right here. Hound Dogs. It's my my dad's food truck that he started. He's out in North Dakota. And
awesome.
He called in some reinforcements, and me and my son went out there, and he's actually out there with Grandpa right now, working with them. So I just want to give him a shout out. He may watch this, he may not, but that's supporting the local. We got all the way back to the supporting your local farmers and sourcing that kind of stuff out. I think is really, really important. Being able to get from your local community, being able to provide for others. Like I've grown up with large gardens. For Mother's Day this year, I said, honey, you're getting a garden. So I didn't have a tiller. So what did I do with my skills? I built along my fence a 2-foot garden, it's 2 feet wide or whatever, 3 feet wide and perfect height for my pregnant wife. And she goes out there and she can meddle with it and that's her thing. She likes to do that. She loves to water it. She likes to make sure it's good. Man. And that's my contribution to our family. For if you want to go hunting, that's me. You want to go fishing, that's me. And it's important to just do that and help those around you, especially your family when they need it. It's the first time my father ever asked me for help. He's like, my people didn't show up that said that we're going to be here, that he helped for years and years. And it was one of those things where, Dad, you didn't even have to say, hey, and I was already on my way. I'm there for you, Pops. So, yeah. Go Hound Dogs.
Hound Dogs. There you go. You've heard it right beautiful. Here on the Alak-Azul Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're pretty much done. We have to save a little bit for the next one. Next weekend, it's my birthday on Sunday, the day that I normally do my stream. So I may be on stream. I'm not 100% sure. I may be on stream. Depends what happens the night before.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Well, I'm turning 52.
Oh, he's not that old, but I'll be Danny for the night. Don't you worry. I'm not as good looking, but I can try my best.
That is so cute.
So yeah, there you go. It's going to be next weekend is my birthday. I generally do a stream on my birthday, but we'll see how it goes. Because like being a Sunday, I usually like celebrate the Saturday. So, but regardless,
he's got birthday week, guys. Don't let him kid you. He celebrates birthday week, and
I do absolutely. And you know what? The following week, August. My youngest son, it's his birthday, August 1. Mine's August 13. My mother's is August 14, and my eldest boy is August 21. So what I've done is to try to put them all together. August 20, I've rented this like private resort overlooking with a pool and with a house and like an Airbnb. And so we're going to have like a joint, a birthday with my boys and myself. So, yeah, that's going to be on the 20th. And I'm going to live stream from there. We'll see what happens next weekend. I'm not sure. We'll see. Right. For my birthday next week. But anyway, for everybody out there in the YouTube space and also Facebook, because I also stream to Facebook, I'm going to say Alak-Azul.
Cheers.
One more time.
Alak-Azul.
Right on, Alak-Azul.
Cheers, brother.
Awesome.
Yay.
Alak-Azul.
And chase it with my Alak-Azul with coconut water.
I got body armor.
So keeps it healthy. Yeah.
I dropped my glass somewhere there, but it doesn't matter. So thank you again for everybody that tuned in. So much love. Crypto Lucky, Irene, Crypto Knight, Crypto Professor Girl, Zakilla, Driptoken, Big Wig. Who else was on the stream tonight?
That was
everybody that was on the stream. Big shout out to Dragon Club on TG. Big shout out to Crypto Collective, also on TG. Doug, Todd, Gary, everybody else in the stream. Thank you. Anyone else? You want final words, Lucky?
No, it's always a pleasure. I mean, Crypto Knight, nice meeting you. Irene, Crypto Professor Girl, I love talking to both of you. A lot of good knowledge. So it's an honor, and I hope we keep doing this. So much more to share. Zach, you know, my boy. Yeah. Lots of love.
Yeah. Irene. Irene, last words.
Guys, widen your lens and zoom out and just look around you because there's a lot of shit happening. Don't get bogged down in price action or negativity or this or that. Like, zoom out and just take notice of what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Head on a swivel. So we say back in the football days. Head on a swivel.
Last words, brother.
Yes. Cellar door, mahogany, and sprinkler.
Wow. Amazing.
That's awesome.
That is good.
Yeah. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Well, I think get a solar power generator for your house. I think it's a good idea, and let's try and support the protocol. Let's try to do DDP. Let's try to support reservoir. Let's try to have reasonable interaction with the forces. So let's see. I mean, we do want to keep this going, right? We do want to keep this going.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why
Kryptonite, bro.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay still?
Yeah, man.
Perfect. Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to
right now.
say shout out to the community. Down. What's that?
No, go. Kryptonite, go, bro.
Okay. No problem. So I want to shout out the community for hanging in there and supporting the drip protocol and tonight's live. So J.O., I see you. Gary, Westside, Ian, Wonder Woman. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Appreciate you. Those are my friends. Peace and prosperity to everyone.
Beautiful.
That's right.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Everyone out there in the YouTube world, everyone on the stream, please just stay there just for a minute. It's only going to be a minute. All right. But yeah, thank you so much again. This is your boy Danny D, aka Alaktrician Man, in the house, saying good night and peace out. And I'm going to play my outro. Much love to all of you. Stay positive. Stay happy. It's all good. Alak-Azul.
Stay sober.
Alak-Azul.
Cheers. Alak-Azul.